chair. It is not working. Oh, now is it working? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. There we go. Seems to be working now. Awesome. All right, so without further ado, I won't go through that spiel again. Hopefully it recorded it. But yeah, let's get back into Pillars of Eternity. Yeah, I can hear it on my phone. Awesome. Got my coffee. Got my water. The doggo has been walked. I'm ready to go. Very exciting. Very exciting day. Alright. Start with a little nose blowing action. Okay. Here we go. So, where are we? We're standing outside the Valiant Embassy. We've been to the Ducal Palace. So, we're going to head to another district now. Let's see. Do we want to head to Brackenbury, Andra's Gift, or Heritage Hill? Let's head down to Brackenbury. It's kind of in this eastern quadrant here, so we'll head over this way. Put that fast mode on. Yeah, welcome back everybody who's tuning in. Thanks for joining. Let's head to Brackenbury. 15 minutes. Man, that's good coffee. I don't know what I'd do without coffee. Ah, so the sanitarium, that's where we need to go. For one of our quests, I know that for sure. Cool. So, since we're there, let's just head over to the sanitarium. What do we got here?
Greetings.
Nadine. A woman stands in the shade of the garden, muttering to herself. She's fixated on the pages of a large and well-worn tome, seemingly obvious to the blooming flowers and the cool, fragrant breeze. She only looks up when your shadow crosses her page. Do you mind? I'm rather busy. What are you so busy with? She snaps her book shut. I'm studying soul attachment. We all know that souls move into people at birth and out of them at death, but we still have a lot of questions about what makes them stick, so to speak. What do you mean about making them stick? She brushes a stray lock from her forehead. Souls power bodies and give their tissues life, but only when they're firmly attached. It's separation that leads to a whole spat of soul-related ailments, including the Hollowborn. But if we understood how to reattach souls, we could end Waidwen's legacy, maybe even conquer death. She scratches behind her ear. That's the theory anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have all the research I need to put it into practice. What exactly do you need? There's a manuscript called The Theorems of Pangram. It contains research from Pangram's experiments on detached souls. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rumored to have a copy in the Elder Archives. Pangram's work is considered to be one of the more, daring animancy texts. Not something generally circulated among novices, nor easy to get a hold of. I wonder if we might have a peek at it. I'm pretty sure we already looted that book. We stole it. But let me check our inventory. I don't see that as an option here. One second, I'm just gonna blow my nose. The theorems could advance my research by leaps and bounds, but Grimda, the High Archivist, worships whale, which means she has some paradoxical views on sharing and restricting knowledge, and since she's not exactly a proponent of animancy, she tends to restrict the kinds of information that would be useful to me. Maybe she could be persuaded. You're welcome to try, but you wouldn't be the first. She sighs. Anyway, I should probably get back to my work. Yeah, I have it already. Give her the theorems. You'll never believe what I found. You, Lady of Lament, you really found it. Nadine cradles the musty tome like a newborn. I can't believe it. It really exists. She looks back to you. Thank you so much. This will be invaluable. She almost turns to the book, but at the last moment she remembers herself and gives you a bag of coin. You have lost the item Theories of Pangram. You have gained 500 copper, 3,924 experience. Nice. I'm glad this will be useful to you. I don't suppose you could spare a little more. I was glad to help. Seems fair enough. 500 bucks for a tome. Anything else? I'll leave you alone. Very well. Great.
Yeah.
That was easy enough. We had already really completed that quest, so. Okay. Couple of animancers out here. Let's head into the sanitarium. Here we are. Verna. Ooh, free loot over here first. Let's check it out. Some books. Taking your books. Verna, talk to me. No, just a soul to read. We are not going to be reading the souls. Animancer. Head Warden Ethelmore. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down unblinking over the bustle of harried academics pestered by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There is a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention turned towards you. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what is it that has brought you to my sanitarium? I'm looking for an animancer named Modred. Modred, of course. You will find him downstairs in the first room on the right. Interesting. I'm curious as to how you've come to be in your present state. In the statue, you mean? Well, he laughs. I was old, and it seemed wrong to me. A lifetime spent in pursuit of discovery only to lose it all in death. Somewhere, someday, I would wake up in a new body, none the wiser, and pursue a different course entirely. All that experience wasted. If we are ever to unearth the principles behind our existence, it will be in spite of our condition. Of that I am quite sure. To live on as part of something I helped build seemed to me a better legacy than what nature had in store. The transfer itself was quite simple, as our techniques go, and for that I am grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept when they are not your own. I do miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts here. Now and again, one of our animancers will humor me and consult over some problem, but they are a jealous breed and are too often afraid to collaborate. If you are considering it yourself, I can tell you that it isn't for the easily bored. Tell me about the sanitarium. A history lesson. This is a rare pleasure. Most come in here only concerned with cheating death in one way or another. We are an old institution, as Deerwood goes. This is our 94th year. As with many cities, the growth of Defiance Bay brought with it a host of problems. One of the worst was that those born with, shall we say, ill-favored souls came to populate its streets in droves, thus the sanitarium. Brackenbury was a natural fit. It was growing, but there was also a lot of money here back then. This place owes its survival to the curiosities of the wealthy more than anything, I think. Our founding came at a time of great suspicion in animancy, much like today. So much progress has been lost to the mishaps of a few careless practitioners. But in time it was forgotten, as all things are. Since then we have been at the forefront of animancy's resurgence. We have played host to many gifted researchers and pushed the boundaries of our knowledge in ways never thought possible. Some of the first safe transferences were done here, and we have pioneered work in soul purification, lineage analysis, preservation. It's really quite a list, if you'll pardon my pride. Today it's, well, I can't say it's exactly the same. There's been some push to shut us down. It comes from Deerwood's more excitable denizens, whose minds are more passionate than thoughtful, I'm afraid. People see this legacy, and they see it involves something they don't understand, so it's natural for them to suspect people whose understanding exceeds theirs. It looks to them like we're hiding something. We have a representative in the palace this very moment, defending the entire science of animancy at a hearing before the Duke, absurd as it sounds. If it does not go well, it could be the end of animancy in Deerwood. I fear Avar may be swayed by all this unrest, irrational though it may be. We shall see. One sec here. Okay. Yeah, I feel like we should tell them we have a member of the Leaden Key in their midst. Ethelmere groans, and the stone around him shudders. I could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled in or whether calamity has struck on its own. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You are at odds with the Leaden Key as well, I take it? They are up to something, and I am to determine what. Yes. They are always up to something. Of course, that you may rest assured. If their plots have come to involve you, you have my sympathies. Do you have some idea of who this person might be? I won't know until I've met them. Very well. In that case, I would recommend you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You will report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. Do you know anything about awakenings? There's an animancer on the lower floor who came all the way from Ravua to study them. Take the stairs down and look for Belasej. Thank you. Alright, so we have to question the animancers about suspicious activities. Who's Earmid? Just a soul to read. Give me your books. Taking all your books. Taking all your books. Alright. Let's head over here. Some nobles in here. This man's soul was torn asunder by a bioarc. As you can see, the patient is unresponsive. Common after soul trauma. Taking your books. The animancer places a small stone on the patient's forehead. What is to happen? A portion of his soul is recovered near his body. We use this stone as a vessel for transfer. Interesting. Can you hear me, Oswin? There's been some permanent side effects. Huh. So it looks like we got lucky by being fully restored after the bioac. Alright, so we can go downstairs and talk to Modred and the other fellow. So let's go check that out. Heading down. I wouldn't suspect any traps down here. There's Belisej.
Hail and well met.
A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. She almost walks into you. Ikasi, here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research that I do not see the kith standing in front of me. What can I do? I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. She laughs bitterly. Ugh, that would be me. Though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Animancy's success in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It is a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck. I have a volunteer. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Galarde, who is it? Aloth's lips curl into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon? I jest. You Adirans are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Aloth by the shoulders and steers him to the couch. And try to relax, but don't try too hard, then you'll not be relaxing. Indeed, his eyes are humorless. And you must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Animancer fastens thick copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrists as she ratchets them tighter. His face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now, I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with ADRA lenses, cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. Khan peers at the device with interest. It seems suitably complicated. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Isilmer more? I like that lady. She raises her fingers. But first, we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Sagani pats his arm. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Aloth squirms on the couch. Very well. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal, something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in the Scythewood. He looks to you. His face is set in a frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. Talk about your parents. As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mists of his own memory. Belisej doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. He closes his eyes. Mother is away most of the time, with the Thane's family, but I always know when she's coming home. Father's bottles accumulate like storm clouds on the horizon. His fits of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him, knowing that her heimneg to another man supports us better than his labors as a steward. This is good. I am starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she is around, he is usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I'm sweeping the kitchen, the next I'm sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals, but it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Matiko, Belisej furiously cranks the knobs along her scope. He's hypnotized himself with this old memory. You've got to bring him out of it. Quickly, I almost have it. Squeeze his hand, shake him by the shoulders. Squeeze his hand. You're safe. Everything's fine. Firm handshakes. Elot's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. He's near safe when I hap upon him. Belisej sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence, something spreading and congealing. She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Creaking bones and voices high in ire. That warm molasses feeling that creeps down your gut when crisis is nigh. Belfetto, we have flares of a totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes onto the pages next to her and turns one clicking knob of her scope. Now try to get the two of them talking. Aloth, ask Esselmere what she's doing. Well, it's Esselmere talking now, so let's address her. Esselmere, tell Aloth why you're awakened. Fa, he's the one needed me, hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in its shell. Aloth's face twists in fury. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. She rests her scribbling, only to make another adjustment to her scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the space that he leaves empty. She prompts you with the circling of her wrists, quill still in hand. Go on. Aloth, what's this about ceding space to Isselmere? He grits his teeth painfully. I've given her nothing. She usurps me in my own body. Aye, and I lend him a pair, too. Ye should ask Wit. I did that old man of his. How the last time he laid a hand on us, I break it in 3 places. Aloth's head jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. Now I was awakening, but now I'm stuck with ye, and damned if I let your ninnying drag us both through the scupper. Ah, very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Asimil's essence throughout the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seemed to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left rib cage. That's right around the spleen, which, of course, means that she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Aloth blinks back at you, and in the midst of his perturbation, you're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horseshit. Black bile, is it? They've certainly spat their share. Kaina studies Aloth dubiously. It is a simpler explanation than I expected, all things considered. She glares at him. Yes, my mind... Never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation. You're close. Let me see. Source of trouble for everything. That's right. That's absurd. Samir obviously shows up when he feels threatened. I don't know. Isselmere manifests when Aloth is in danger or under pressure. Belisage carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Aloth. I suppose that could be true. She dots another note. I'll have to check this against other research. He removes the copper bands. Well and good for you, but what does this mean for me? Belisage frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Isomir tries to take control from you when she thinks you can't face a problem on your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. She did you a favor by dealing with your father. It seems like Isomir steps in when she determines that you're in danger. It's not clear yet whether this is help or hindrance. Let's do that one. From my position, I'd say it's pretty clearly a hindrance. I've got a lot of process, regardless. Thank you for your help, Footman. He does not look at Belisage. She sets her notes on her desk and returns to her scope. Well, I see this has been as useful to you as it has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of Ravua, Fentra Aloth. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the right-wise principles of animancy. Just what you've always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting moment out of the corner of your eye. Belisage is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Aloth is holding her notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information public like this, especially not after her nonsense. What should we do here? I'm not sure. Do we want to allow her to further animancy? Research? Aloth's in our party, though. We gotta look out for him. So, fair enough, but do it quietly. He hides the papers in his cloak. Not to worry. We'll see to this on our own. Okay. Looks like we're not helping Belisage. Taxes collected, all earnings lost to bandits. What? Oh, I didn't know that was a thing, taxes. Obi-Wan says, howdy, hope you're well, lurking to its finest. Hey, Obi-Wan, welcome back. Thanks for lurking, man. Glad to see you. I didn't know about taxes. They're always there, even in games. Okay, well that was cool. Found out a little bit more about Aloth. Let's check out this other door. This should be Modred. Yep. Oh, don't loot that. Oh, we can. In a corner of Modred's lab rests a large, weathered trunk. It seems like to contain something important, if only by virtue of its size. Examine the trunk more closely. Nothing grabs your attention except for the large padlock on the front. Whatever this animancer keeps in here, he does not want anyone else to have or see. Alright, let's leave it alone for now. We'll talk to Modred first. Obi-Wan says, happy you're back after a short break. Sort of. I mean, I was off on the weekend, but I did stream Monday and Tuesday. So the VODs are up if you wanted to check those out. But yeah, I'm just streaming Monday to Friday right now, so I'm taking the weekends off. All right, let's talk to Modred here. An animancer scribbles feverishly on a parchment scroll while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As your shadow falls over his scroll, he looks up at you with mingled perplexity and irritation.
Welcome.
Can I help you? He forces a polite smile. What are you working on? Hey, Dolly, what's going on? Get lurked. My area of focus is witches. More specifically, how to cure them. What's a witched? A hollowborn who received a transplanted animal soul during infancy, one of Animancy's early efforts to cure the legacy, if not a successful one. He removes his spectacles and wipes his brow. They show signs of developmental abnormalities throughout their childhood, but when they reach adolescence, they become aggressive. feral, but still victims in need of care. Transplanting animal souls into children seems like an odd solution. We Animancers were trying to do something about the crisis, better than letting it swallow a generation of children. He stares at a fixed point on the far wall, and despite the controversy, it only went so far because at first it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly seemed aware of their surroundings, of their families. He takes a slow breath. The complications don't begin until puberty, but that's when the incompatibilities between body and soul take shape. Children become violent, ravenous. We pay dearly for our mistakes, I promise you. Angry mobs hunted down Animancers and burned down their homes, with them still inside, often as not. People took to calling it the cruel salvation, and many still loathe us for it, but we wanted to stop the legacy as much as anyone. The public begged for our help, and we did the best we could. I still don't know if that absolves us. Deli says, Rocket League soon. Yeah. Yeah, man. I was playing a bit yesterday. I grinded out my placement matches, and I think I grinded my way back up to Diamond 3, Div 2. So, pretty close to champ still, but not there quite yet. I'll get it this season for sure. All right. Why do you study witches? I gotta run out though. Cool. Yeah, man. Drop me a line when you get back, and I'll be streaming till 3 o'clock today. So if you want to play some Rocket League after that, let's do it. He huffs. What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that could be healed, the lives that could be restored. What could be more important? His face has reddened, and he turns away from you for a moment. He shakes his head. Animancy has an answer here. I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out. I see. Does the name Helig mean anything to you? Helig. He is a colleague of mine. He was primarily a necromancer, but he was involved in animancy too. He worked at the sanitarium for several years. I dare say everyone here has heard of him. He clears his throat. He left his post recently. I believe he was seeking new opportunities in the Valian republics. He leans forward. The advances they're making in animancy really are quite remarkable. Surely you've heard? He coughs again. Perhaps you haven't. I've heard it differently. He slides his spectacles down his nose. Just what are you insinuating? If this is your idea of a joke, I assure you, it's in very poor taste. So you didn't sink a blade into his chest and dump him in the catacombs? He'll be relieved to hear it. I think wasn't joking. Yeah, let's go for the sarcastic. Modred pales. How could ... He sighs and runs a hand over his hair. Very well. Yes, I killed him. I killed that beast because nobody else had the spine for it. He was a madman. Years of perverse experiments, twisting healthy souls, torturing damaged souls. And for what? He flayed the essence from Glanfathan indigents for his amusement. He waves down the hall. If the public had known half of the deeds, they'd have razed this place to the ground. He jabs his finger on the desk. He used the sanitarium to disguise his own sick proclivities. He brought shame on all of us and put the entire discipline at risk. I regret nothing. He calms down and sizes you up. Anyway, now you know the whole grisly story. Helig said you stole a grimoire from him. Yeah, let's bring up the grimoire. Modred's brow furrows. His grimoire? What's that madman been telling you? I'm not in the mood for games, Modred. Hand it over. He said you kept it in that trunk over there. Let's see. I'm not in the mood for games, Modred. Hand it over. Modred spreads his hands. I'm not a wizard, and I want nothing to do with his detestable research. What use would I have for it? If I know Helig, this is his idea of a joke. Probably not one you or I would appreciate. If anything I've told you about him has sunk in, I beg you, return to the catacombs and slay him once and for all. That foul man will cause misery and pain as long as he's around. He said you kept it in that trunk over there. Modred takes the key with a trembling hand, his eyes darting to the trunk behind you. You've been misled. There's no grimoire here, and Helig never intended you to find one. That wretched thing has an insatiable hunger for blood, he shudders. Thank you for denying him. I hope I can convince you now to return and slay him once and for all. No, I wanted him to open the grimoire, or open the trunk and get the grimoire. He has something I need. I don't know what he's promised you, but he's already lied to you about the grimoire. I don't have it. If what I've told you about that evil, deceitful man hasn't swayed you, I don't know what else to say. He turns back to his papers. Trust him at your own peril. Alright, well, let's try and open the chest and then approach him again. One second. Because if we find the grimoire in there, then we know that Modred is lying. So let's have a look here. Open the trunk. A heavy lock holds the trunk shut. It's too sturdy to break, and the mechanism looks too complicated to pick. You'll need to find the key. Examine the trunk more closely. Okay, so we just gave the key to Modred. Give me the key back.
Traveler.
About Helig. Helig's soul returned to his corpse through sinister magic. He wants revenge. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna save scum it, and we're gonna open the chest first, because I want that grimoire. I feel like we shouldn't have handed the key over just so soon. So let's talk to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let's open. Unlock the trunk. You take the key you've acquired from Helig and place it in the lock. It fits perfectly and turns with a solid clunk. The trunk holds no grimoires or treasures. Instead, you find yourself staring into the feral gaze and toothy maw of a twisted, monstrous creature. Its humanoid form has been overwhelmed by bony angles and terrible claws. Okay. With a start, you recognize the vague shape of a young girl beneath the elongated, malformed bones and grayish skin. It growls and leaps from the trunk, not toward you, but toward Modred. Modred has no time to scream before his throat is torn out. Whoa! Jeepers. And he did not have the grimoire. So Modred was telling the truth. Okay. Well, let's give Modred the key then. There's no point in having him die. We're going to have to go back and kill Helig. I don't think I'll normally do it that way. But
Right.
I wouldn't normally save scum it like that, but I just wanted to make sure we weren't losing out on the grimoire. Okay, so let's just quickly skip through this. Skip through this real quick. Alright, we'll give him the key.
Huh?
Interesting. Alright, so we're not going to open that.
I'm here. Right.
Just want to see if we can
I'm on the trail.
loot this.
I'm on the trail.
Can we loot this? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Modred, you live to see another day. Let's go check out the rest of the areas down here. Anything in here? Cage. Claw marks. Must be where they keep the children who have the animal souls. It's kind of gross. Ripley.
Gods keep you.
Oh my, you startled me. Are you supposed to be in here? I'm investigating any suspicious activity in the sanitarium. Oh, I'm just Master Azo's assistant. He'd know more about that, but he's in the middle of an busy with some patients. You won't be able to see him until he comes out from the patient ward. If there's nothing else, I need to get back to work. Is Azo busy with patients, or is he running some sort of experiment? I'm just an assistant. It's not my place to gossip. I'm sorry. How do I get to the patient ward? Only Master Azo has access. I guess Head Warden Ethelmore does too, but he's, a statue now. What do you do here? I mostly help Master Azo set up and clean his equipment. I also keep his office organized since he's too busy to do it himself. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. Me? I'm just Master Azo's assistant, but there's a visiting scholar from Ravua here named Belisej. She claims to know more about them. Talk to Ethelmore about Azo.
Huh?
Okay. Just give me your books first. Note from Azo. I require more copper tubing for my next experiment. Do not requisition it from the sanitarium stores. I don't have the time to deal with the head warden's inevitable questions. Interesting. He is up to no good. Alright, let's see if I can get Durance
A simple test.
open his box.
That's settled.
Yep. North Ward patient records. The Pale Lady. Subject is female, mid-40s, awakened to a past life as a serial murderer, which now frequently emerges as the soul's dominant personality. Subject vacillates between violence and severe depression resulting from the guilt of past deeds. Weak candidate for present research. Okay. Lots of dirty evidence there. Hey, these allergies are killing me. Killing me. Okay, so we've got lots of evidence against
If
Azo.
it makes you rest easier.
So let's talk to the guards, see if they'll let us into the patient ward. Sometimes we get people in here trying to make trouble for the Animancers. I wouldn't mind being better armed, so what if it makes the clients a little nervous? Alright, so I don't have the proper key. Let's go talk to the statue dude upstairs. So we've got some evidence to suggest he's conducting experiments.
How do you do?
I found records that Azo may be running some questionable experiments. Ethelmore, experiments? Caedmon Azo is in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Caedmon. I had hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I am granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further on this matter, and I, for one, am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would ask also that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough trouble as it is. Alright. Let's go talk to the patients. Investigate the patient ward. We're basically, I think, walking into an insane asylum. The head warden says you can go in. Be careful in there. Okay. I'll take that as a sign that I should save. Frail. A curved spine twists this woman's posture forward, her greasy hair draped over her large eyes like vines. She smiles at you. You must be visiting someone. Then, noting your appearance, she adds, a friendly visit, I hope. What do you know about the Animancer Azo? Oh, I like him very much. Many animancers could care less about their patients. Look at us like vermin for the experiments, but Master Azo treats us like humans, even the very sick. You can tell he does this to help people. He's helped me understand a great deal about myself, and I know he's done the same for others. It's too bad what they did to him. He hides it well, but I know he's still affected by it. What happened to Azo? They don't like to talk about it, but there was an accident. He was said to be one of the brightest in Deerwood. That was his reputation here, and that was what brought me to seek treatment. People say it was ego that drove him to try and solve the legacy, but that's hogwash. Even if he was a bit of a showman, he loves his homeland. He thought he could help. He wasn't one to speak of his work. Suspected his colleagues might have tried to steal it, but he told me once that he had figured out a way to create a soul. Not a soul exactly, mind you. How did he put it? A proxy, I think he called it. Had some machine that drew energy out of the very ether. Can you imagine? The point is, it was going to help with the legacy. It was going to make Hollowborn into something easier to love and care for. Gods know that's something we need. Do you know what they call those empty little babies in Andra's gift? No, tell me. They call them boys, because so many of them are found floating face down in the water. These are mad times. Anyway, Master Azo had scheduled a public demonstration of his work in Copper Lane. He was so excited. And then, the next day, he was locked in his office, turning away visitors, I heard. And he stopped seeing patients. I don't know exactly what happened, and I don't have the heart to ask him, but I'm glad they're letting him treat people again. Do you know where I might find Azo? I think I've seen him around today. Have you checked the laboratory? It shares a wall with his office. He's been spending most of his time there lately. Have any of the patients here been acting unusually? Well, there's Batixa, who relives a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Idleman, who they say only has half a soul, and who is found collecting the faces of others because he believes his own to be a false one. Graham, he speaks in a language no one understands, and wails at night sometimes. Different from their normal behavior, I mean. Well, yes, I suppose, but nothing they didn't volunteer for. Master Azo let us know that a number of patients in the North Ward had volunteered for a new therapy and would be escorted to his laboratory to receive treatment. Obi-Wan says, very light and joyful main story, right? Yeah, seriously. This is for an insane asylum, she's being quite pleasant. The North Ward has our most troubled cases. I'm glad some of them have chosen to get help. It seems to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. It's Graham I see them taking in the most. He struggles, but he always was a bit of a wild one. Would I be able to visit the North Ward? They like to keep them separate. I don't know what I've seen the guards allow a visitor, just Master Azo. You might ask him. He's very sympathetic. Why are you in here? Behind her hair, her cheeks flush. I don't want to say. You'll think less of me. I'm listening. These last few years haven't been kind to me. They haven't been kind to anyone, really. I try not to think of it as personal. I lost my husband and both boys in the Saints' War. My daughter, the legacy took her before she was ever mine. I made do. What else can you do? I moved into a tiny place in Andra's gift. Got by mending clothes and on the kindness of strangers when I had to. But I was surviving, and the gods were watching over me. I could live with that. Then one day this noble woman comes in. Wants this fancy gown fixed. Gorgeous thing. This shade of blue I'd never seen before. Only I looked at it, and it reminded me of something. I had what they call an awakening. Obi-Wan says, hey guys, let's make a game about mass massacre of babies born with no souls. Yeah, I've been sitting on this story. I think I've got it. Frail says, I remembered being a noblewoman myself in another life. People doting over me, men doting over me. Me, the best food, the most beautiful home, all the things you'd never dare to dream of, they were mine. It was poison knowing that. All those things I had that I'll never have in this life, it did something to me. My food started to taste rotten. The walls in my little room seemed to close around me. I stopped being able to sleep in my own bed. Obi-Wan says, sure, boss, it's almost Christmas also. Yeah. Yeah, that cheerful holiday story we all wanted, right? So I came here. It was that or break into an estate and start ordering servants around. It seems like such a silly thing to worry about. You don't have to tell me, but I can't get past it. And I start to wonder, did the gods choose this life for me? And if so, what terrible thing must I have done to deserve it? Nobody deserves to go through what you've gone through. I hope not. I can't even imagine the monster who deserves what half the patients here go through every day. Farewell. Alright, so let's find Graham. Flesh construct. Ew. What are you guys keeping in your barrels? Some veggies. At least they're eating well. I guess not anymore that I took them. Veggie in a barrel. So, why are there flesh constructs everywhere? No visitors. Okay. I don't have the key for that. The construct turns its head toward you and watches warily. Do I have the key? No. Okay, let's talk to the patients if we can. Master Azo said he'd make me better soon. I've been hearing screams in the night. The children they keep down here are pure evil in their eyes. They said I can't leave yet. Look at this one. I don't like this place. Yeah, it's kind of dark and dungy. Oh, there's a door up here I can go through. Lockpicks. Oh. No speak. Okay. Cool. So I can get past. Oh no, that's just the same route. Okay. Let's head over here. Talk to me, guard. Keep your distance. Witches in the cell back there. We've had incidents where people got close. Oh, so maybe Graham's in there. Can I go in there? Negative. But I can go in here. Oh.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick save. Elementary Glenfathen. Some gold. Any wine for me? More books. Proliferation of animacy. Well, nothing in here. So let's just look at our map real quick. Obi-Wan says, so I went back to the DLC this weekend. He made me want to replay this and didn't enjoy it that much. It's less story driven and a lot mob bashing dungeons and hard. But you'll see. First part is alright. Second part is a nightmare and hard. Yeah. Well, I wonder what playing it like cohesively with this game will feel like. I'm hoping, because there is a lot of dialogue right now and a lot of like story, so I may not mind the murder hobo-esque play style of the DLC once we get there. That's cool though. So can you just play the DLCs separately? Here we go. Obi-Wan says, true that. Master Azo said he'd make me better soon. Yeah, I think he's been promising that to a lot of people, my man. It's just like a labyrinth. Jeepers. What's in here? Something churns and bubbles in this tank. Who's this? Oh, there he is. Katie Benezo. So you've got some locked chests. Copper wires and conduits. Something churns and bubbles. Talk to me. A round-faced, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled upward slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
Easy there, pal. Ethelmore told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments. That's a question about the experiments. Yes, well... Oh, just one sec. I'm gonna sneeze. Well, yes, well, Ethelmore has done much good for anybody since he... Or hasn't done much good for anybody since he had his soul moved to an inanimate object. So I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If Animancers all followed the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backwards and willfully ignorant as Red Ceres. We would know nothing about life or death, or even ourselves. We would be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. Obi-Wan says, no, I restarted a character, speeding all to level to unlock White March. I think you get the call around level 6 or 7, and went straight there with shit gear and OMG, but should be fine in normal. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not really speeding there, so hopefully our gear and level will be able to scale. Okay, continue. Our leaders guide us, and without them, we risk losing our way. If this man would strike off on his own, then let him fend for himself, without the benefit of the sanitarium. I have no interest in arguing about this.
Like so many who stand idly by while a nation slowly collapses into the dust. Apathy and ignorance are the true curse that dooms the Deerwood. Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior? It will be an Animancer, or it will be no one at all.
I heard you're demoted. How did that happen? Azo's nostrils flare, and he bares his upper teeth more broadly. That's none of your concern. Did one of the others put you up to this? Oddmer? That smug weasel. Things went wrong. Everything. I don't know how. I'll never know. He spits on the floor as if to remove a bitter taste from his mouth. Have you tried your experiments on any other subjects? I have, yes. No point in lying about it. Now that Ethelmore is involved, I asked for volunteers from our patients, and a few brave souls came forward. I was very close at one time to a breakthrough. They understood that. They understood their sacrifices would mean something. I'd like access to the North Ward. Out of the question. Those patients are in isolation for a reason. I've seen your records. I know what you're doing with them.
Those are private. You have no right.
He balls up his fist and digs his teeth into his index finger. A growl simmering beneath his breath and a deep scowl compressing his face.
Fine. Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
He pulls a heavy key from one of his pockets and nearly slams it down on the floor before handing it to you. Farewell.
Yeah.
A simple test. That's settled.
Let's see what's in these boxes here. Whoa! Nice. Unique light armor. Speed is minus... So recovery speed minus 25%. Minus 50% stun duration. Minus 50% knockdown. Plus 50 defense while stunned. Plus 50 defense while prone. Those seem to kind of counteract each other. Plus 2 damage reduction. So it's light armor with good damage reduction, basically. Be good for a rogue, I guess. I'll take that. And our mechanics aren't high enough for
What?
the other chest. Just want to see here if we can... If we can level him up.
Huh?
Okay, we'll have to come back to that. Well, we got the key. So we want to go talk to Graham. Let's just check these rooms out first. I've been hearing screams in the night. In the night. The children they keep down here, pure evil in their eyes. Okay. Unlocked. Let's go. Let's close this door. Is this my face? Tell me. Okay, so that's the guy who's harvesting faces. I don't like this. Whose face is this? It's your face, man. Who's here? Thundering sky, rain of blood, innocence must drown. I'm looking for Graham. There he is. This man has the look in his eyes of a hunted animal, and at your approach, he staggers backward to the far corner of his cell, halfway appearing as though he would climb the walls if it would get him farther away from you. He cries out, a bizarre primal utterance like nothing you've heard. I need to ask you some questions. Graham looks at you blankly. It is unclear whether he understands you or not, but his panic has momentarily subsided. He opens his mouth to speak, but the words that come out are half-formed, as though his tongue were cut out. They are impossible for you to discern, if indeed they are words at all. Aloth makes a noise of disgust. Those animancers did this to him. You can see what comes of their meddling. Azo ran experiments on you against your will, didn't he? Freyal said that you were being treated by Caedmon Azo. There are things I need to know from you. I'm going to learn them. Let's be kind. Let's see. Freyal said you were being treated by Caedmon Azo. He looks at you with uncertainty. Slowly, tentatively, he steps closer to the front of his cell, and as he does so, for the first time you can perceive his soul within your ken. It is misshapen, as though maimed by some jagged instrument, and large expanses of it have been gouged out entirely. You feel no barriers of resistance. If you wanted to, you could look further into Graham's soul. Peer into Graham's soul. You project out toward the maimed soul in front of you, merging with it, its confusion and fear becoming yours, as it whisks you into depths. You're in your cell. A key turns. The door creeps open on neglected hinges. Thoughts come to you in waves, incomplete, broken, fearful. Standing at the door is a rotund, balding man. His upper teeth and pointy nose remind you of a rat. He beckons, apologetic. You don't want to go. Anything else. In your mind is a single word, and the word is no, but it dissolves before it reaches your lips. You press against the back wall, cornered. You cry out. In darkness, you fight against unseen restraints. You cannot move your arms or legs. The man walks into the room carrying a lit candle, its meager flame casting long shadows across books and machinery. Straps bind your arms and legs. Cold metal circumscribes the crown of your head and the breadth of your chest. The man is sorry. He is in need of raw materials. They dismantled his work and he needs another source. He needs to show them he was right. He thanks you. Then he turns a knob, and you feel yourself begin to crack from within, and you can feel pieces of you torn away, like having your insides chewed by a horde of rats, and you are screaming a scream you can barely hear. Continue searching. Another night, heavy footsteps outside your door, coming for you. You look through a slit in your door, the flesh giant, the artificial being, just outside, but facing left. Facing the end of the hall, the boy there. The boy looks with interest at the giant, then collapses to the floor like a shed snakeskin. The giant convulses for a moment, then rights itself, turns away, and leaves. Decoupled from Graham's soul. Graham looks at you, still wild-eyed but somehow more present. He nods at you, then walks back to the end of his cell. Whoa. So they are not willfully allowing
Poor
themselves.
people. This isn't the treatment that they were promised upstairs by the cushioned seats and lush carpets. Is that the cure for soul sickness? To be thrown into a cell and subjected to the whims of your captor?
These animancers are as mad as their patients. But if all were treated like this, the sanitarium would never survive. What did these patients do to warrant such conditions? There are just as many who come here and are cured of their ills, people who would otherwise be cast aside. I hope so. Kana takes a deep breath. You're probably right. It's just hard to see. Let's be on our way. This place gnaws at the soul. Indeed. Alright, let's talk to the patient at the end of the hall. Usgrim, a willowy adolescent boy, stands in the center of his cell, gawkish and stoop-shouldered. He stares straight ahead, the occasional blink his only movement, and it is unclear whether he registers your presence at all behind his glassy, doll-like eyes. In this state, the barriers between your soul and his are thin and porous, easily bypassed if you should wish it. Reach out for his soul. You close your eyes and edge forward toward the boy's soul, and as you near, a sudden malice comes over you. You are cold and warm all at once, sweating and shivering and straining for breath, as you did on the caravan journey. The soul you approach is the wrong one, a parasitic plant that strangles its host. It is predatory and pitiless, and you have crossed paths with it before. Too late does it occur to you to retract, and already you feel yourself plunging into some interminable abyss of thought and memory. You are standing in a cell now, the same cell in the sanitarium. The halls are moonlit and empty, and you are waiting. At the far end of the ward, the door opens, revealing a flesh golem in silhouette beneath the stone archway. It makes its usual rounds. The same stops every time. The misbegotten child of despondent creators. When the construct is close, you coil yourself up and spring forward, passing out of the boy's body as though it were a membrane. You can sense his body behind you collapsing to the floor, a puppet whose strings are cut. You are rushing toward the golem now, bodiless as a gust of wind. Quickly, you think to yourself, quickly, and you feel the strength hemorrhaging from your soul as you dart towards the makeshift abomination. You pass into the golem's shell and overtake the soul and plant it within, encircling it, suppressing it, and, contained in this new vessel, you are strong again. You step heavy-footed down corridors unheeded by the other constructs and scrutinized only by the wary, untrustworthy eyes of the mad. Coming at last to an office piled with books and scribbled papers and the perverse implements of animancy. You set your oversized hands upon a large machine, a nest of globes and tubes and coils in the center of the room, and go to work, bending wires and unsettling alignments. Your surroundings are pulled past you, or perhaps you are pulled past them, and they dissolve into a blur. When they settle into place again, you are outside on a clear day, standing in front of a crowd stacked high above you on the tiered seats of an amphitheater. You are acting for the crowd, standing deliberately still, but this is no play. A balding man with rodent-like features is strapping you to a machine, the one you had tampered with. You see your arms for the first time, short and fleshy, unmistakably those of a little girl, but this body is not truly yours. Your mind still holds the same determination, the same hard-heartedness as before. The body itself is cold and vacuous, unlike the others. This one has no soul of its own. The man speaks, and the crowd applauds with an enthusiasm worthy of a hero's entrance. "Bear witness," he says, and he pulls a lever. The machine shivers and sparks, and a bead of sweat rolls down the side of the man's brow. But the crowd's apprehension quickly gives way to awe as a crystal globe fills with a radiant mist that casts the entire theater aglow. He opens a valve, and the glow crawls through a tube along a length of copper wiring that runs to a set of electrodes beneath your armpits. You feel nothing when it reaches you, as it should be, for you have been leading his work astray periodically for some time, altering notes and settings and playing puppeteer for Hollowborn. But you make it look how people would expect it to look when a body is infused with a soul. In a moment, the machine goes dark, and the man unstraps you, eyeing you with a scientist's concern. He looks up at the crowd. "Behold," he says, but there is obvious hesitation in his voice. Slowly, you take a plodding step forward, then another and another. You look up at the man, giving him the eye contact of which no Hollowborn is capable, and the crowd gasps. The man looks relieved. "How do you feel?" he asks at a volume meant for the crowd. And this is the moment. At the top of your lungs, you let out a piercing shriek. The man comes toward you, his hand outstretched, but you run the other way, back to the machine. With all your strength, you drive your head into the crystal globe, and it shatters, streaking your head with warm blood. You drive your head down onto the surface of the machine again and again, drawing panicked screams from the crowd. And by the time the man reaches you, your body has already ceased proper function and merely twitches on the cold ground. Satisfied, you depart the corpse in search of another unsuspecting host. Who could put their faith in animancy now? You are pulled again from your surroundings, transcending the boundaries of memories and lifetimes, deeper and deeper past betrayals and murders and lies upon lies, that form the thick webbing of plots beyond mortal comprehension. You settle at last on a room you have seen before, expansive, with a tall device encasing Adra Monolith at its center. The room is filled with people, and the people all look at the device. You are yanked suddenly back to reality, and the once catatonic boy in the cell is looking directly at you, appraising, calculating. There is no mistaking now that it is the soul of the man who caused your awakening that gazes out from the borrowed husk. A watcher. You made me into a watcher. I believe we share a common past. I'm just looking for some answers. Not just a watcher, someone who will break those frail little legs of yours if you don't do exactly what I tell you. I'm looking for some answers. Is that so? He makes no effort to hide his disinterest, but he continues to search your eyes. He makes a slight grunting noise, and his eyes soften for an instant, and it seems for that moment that he recognizes you. He opens his mouth to speak, then seems to think better of what he was about to say. His jaw tightens. I know your look. You hunger. Hunger for answers that elude you. It gnaws at your soul. It usurps your reason for being. You are like everyone. I will help you let go. He dodges backward with startling grace, putting himself out of reach. On his face there is no malice, only the dispassion of a farmer putting down a sick animal. Then suddenly he slumps forward. Oh snap. Okay. Flesh golems. Oh boy. Oh, we have to fight Graham? Poor guy. And all the crazed patients. Okay, well. There's that. Alright, we'll put our tank on Graham. And we're gonna go knock down the flesh construct with Footman. We're going to get our squishies back here. And you know what? Let's try and knock down. Or what does this do? The fighter becomes fiercely determined to deflect all incoming blows and dramatically increase all defense for a short time. Yeah, no. Let's try and knock down the flesh golem. I think they're gonna hit a lot harder than Graham would. Okay, let's try that. Alright, how's this working out? So we've got 4 guys on Footman. That's probably not a great idea. Speaker to the Restless. Let's try and use that on these guys. See if that can help us run away while we get our tank in here. So you guys, I want you in that flesh construct. Durance, you need to be over here, my dude. Footman, yeah, pass. So, okay, you're dead. Wow. That went quickly. What can we do? Oh, he gets his second life. Right. So let's see if we can help him. Nope, he's dead again. Great. Durance, get out of there, my man. See if we can revive him here. Okay, so Durance is safe now. Our tank is up, and our 4 guys, but we have lost Footman, which is less than ideal. So let's see if we can't pick off guys that are lowest in health first. Nice. Okay, so the patients go down fairly quick. So let's take them up first. Storm wind.
Let's end this!
There we go. Alright, so Footman fell, but I think we're going to be able to survive this fight.
That's it! Hooray at this!
Yeah, we're good.
That rock!
Durance, what are you doing? Nothing. Alright. Oh, we all got a level up, or lots of us got a level up from that. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, not what we wanted, but... Alright, so lots of trash.
Huh?
Let's investigate the cell. There is something in here. Great. A bucket reeks of offal. The chains groan with added weight. Crescent bite marks put the edges of caught. Alright. So that was terrible. Let's just check the cells here. Doesn't look like there's anything in here. So I think we're gonna have to fight our way out. So let's level up our characters before we continue. I'm going to give him 1 more point to survival and 1 more to athletics. And we get a new talent. Wonderful. What does rapid recovery do? Boost the fighter's hardiness, increasing the rate of his or her constant recovery. That could be good. Help him endure through battle. Plus 3 might, plus 3 constitution, plus 25% attack speed, minus 10 deflection, health, and endurance. Concealed for 12 seconds. Interesting. We could do Outlander's Frenzy. It's that once per encounter. That's a barbarian move, I think. What's Savage Attack? Plus 20 to melee damage, minus 5 to melee accuracy. Could be good. It's modal. Okay. So to take the place of... It's like a stance, I'm guessing. Envenomed Strike. It's 3 of them per rest. With a mixture of animal and plant venom applied to his or her weapon, the character is able to deliver a toxic strike that does raw damage over time. That could be really good. Dangerous Implement. Modal. Plus 25% damage with implements. I don't know what those are. I'm assuming that's like traps. The Banes. Interrupting blows, plus 15 to interrupt. That could be really good. Body slaughter. Plus 20% of hits converted to crits against targets with low endurance. Plus 0.5 to crit damage multiplier against targets with low endurance. So it just makes the crits hit harder. Oh, converts some hits to crits and those crits do additional damage. That could be good. Body slaughter and venom strike. Those sound really good. It's body control. Unstoppable. I think we're gonna go with the knockdowns are nice, but Gallant's focus plus 4 accuracy. Let's see. We could do Outlander's Frenzy once per encounter, or Envenom Strike 3 per rest, or Bloody Slaughter is passive. I like the more passive abilities, I think. They're just going to allow us to make those big crits. Yeah, let's go with Bloody Slaughter. Alright, we've got a dare here. So we're going to give him... Let's give him more athletics. And what does this do? Wary Defender. Increases the fighter's awareness while in Defender mode, granting a bonus to Fortitude, Reflexes, and Will. I think he's always in Defender mode. So that could be a good passive ability to have. Or Gallant's Focus gives bonus to accuracy to everybody. But that would probably only be, because it's 2.5 meters, it'd probably only be our other melee characters that would benefit from that. So probably Wary Defender. Or we could give him a bonus to some of his skills. His stats, I mean. Yeah, let's go Wary Defender. Plus 5, all defenses except deflection. Granting a bonus to Fortitude, Reflexes, and Will. User plus 2 enemies engaged, minus 5 deflection. Oh, so it's a minus 5 to deflection. That's okay. Plus 5 to all the other defenses. I think that's a good trade-off. Alright, we'll do Kana next. So his lore is maxed out, I guess. So why don't we give him points in survival so he can benefit from resting. And wait. Oh, no, he just can't go up because it costs more points to advance. So we're going to actually save his points. Maybe we'll give him 1 point to survival so he gets a small bonus. And he gets another level 2 spell. At the sound of his voice, the killers froze stiff. So he has an AoE Paralyze. Jernus slew the beast, but soon faced its kin. Summons 3 worms. My son, do you see your sisters across the moor? 2 will-o-wisps. Terrified. Shatter their shackles. Decrease the duration of and defends against hobbled, stuck, paralyzed, and petrified effects for allies in the area of effect. Could be good. The lover cried out to the beloved, I am yours. Charmed for 12 seconds. Not bad. Rejoice, my comrades. 2 fingers of daylight. The Chanter creates 2 bouncing beams of pure light that restore endurance and grant immunity to frightened and terrified on all allies stuck by them. Ooh, that sounds really good. I think we might do that one. Yeah. Rejoice, my comrades. Oh, do I get 2? Oh, no. Now we're on to talents. So he also gets a talent. Beloved Spirits. Improves the Chanter's connection to the soul fragments they employ, increasing ancient memories' healing capacity. We could give an accuracy bonus to those around him. So that would be him, Durance, Sagani, and Aloth. I don't know if they really need accuracy for their spells, though. So, Beloved Spirits. What does this do? Modifies ancient memory plus 1.4 endurance. I'm not really sure what to do for Kana. I think I'm just going to give him a bonus to Beloved Spirits or Ancient Memory. The character is able to temporarily charm an opponent. However, it takes time to contact the victim's psyche. It cannot be used at the start of the battle. Once per encounter, he can charm someone. That's not a bad idea. Grants Enigma's charm. I kind of like that. Charmed for 12 seconds. Let's try that. Enigma's charm. See how that works. And Aloth. More lore, please. So one more level 3 spell. Crackling Bolt. Deleterious Alacrity of Motion. Expose vulnerabilities. Bears the enemy's combat vulnerabilities for all to see, reducing their damage, reduction, deflection, and concentration. I like that. Let's do expose vulnerabilities. And I get a talent. Grimoire Slam. Hardened Veil. So Grimoire Slam, yeah, knocks people back. Hardened Veil. Strengthens the wizard's arcane veil. Penetrating Blast. Concentrates the power of blast, negating some of the target's damage reduction. Modifies Blast. Plus 5 to damage reduction bypass. That could be good. Yeah, let's go Penetrating Blast. Grants Acolyte's Radiance. Yeah, let's do Penetrating Blast. That's our best bet. And we'll save it.
Yeah.
And we'll continue on. Oh, there's another Flesh Constructor on the door.
I'll see what I can
See
find.
if we can sneak up on it.
Let's go!
Nope.
Raise it up.
Back it up.
Let's go!
Try and control these guys through the door right here.
Let's go!
No, let's bring them in.
Let's go!
We weren't allowing our skeletons to
Let's go.
attack there, so. Easy peasy. Alright. So we might as well clear out everything. Just for the XP. Anybody home? Let's go see if our friend is still in here. Caedmon Azo. What have you done? You've been experimenting on patients against their wills, mangling their souls. I have witnessed it with my own eyes. Azo's face drains of what little color it had. How could you possibly? Look, it had to be done. Ethelmore and the others, they took everything from me. Everything. When I was this close, I had to know where I failed and why. Imagine the value if I'd succeeded. I had something that could make all those hollow-born infants into something like a real person, and with a few more patrons and a few years' research, who knows? No one has come that close with the legacy. It's why I have to continue, why I have to risk everything here, working in secret. It's why you have to lie to Ethelmore for me. Tell him you've cleared me of all suspicion. We'll see.
I trust that you'll do what's right for Deerwood. Don't hold everyone accountable for my mistakes.
You trust a mad dog to hunt for you? The man has little respect for his subjects. It speaks ill of his dedication to the science. Alright. Durance didn't get a level up, did he?
Test.
No. So he didn't get another skill up in mechanics. Oh, we have to fight the kids?
Brave thou shalt feel.
Poor kiddos. Poor kiddos.
Let's go. Let's go.
But our reach is a little bit longer now. There we go. Somebody level up? What was that sound? Oh, it just means the battle's over, I guess. Okay. Yeah. What have you done?
Brave thou shalt feel.
That's
Nice. Poor kiddos. Sorry, kids. Stay in school. Okay. Let's check out what's over here. Any more flesh golems? Anything in here? Nope. Let's check up through this door. Ooh, this door wasn't open before, was it? Just some gold, nothing else, okay. Or some copper. So, we've checked all through here. So I think we can head back down into the main area now. Yep, okay. Let's do that. Make sure we get the flesh, the flesh golems. Give me your flesh. And let's continue. I'm getting out of here. It's not safe anymore. Yeah, you think? Save it. And we need to go talk to Ethelmore about Azo's happenings and doings. He has lost his way. Head Warden Ethelmore, what the blazes happened down there? You were given permission to ask questions. I had things under control until I killed the Leaden Key spy, at which point he possessed a flesh construct. It's complicated. A patient of yours, Uskrim, was working for the Leaden Key, only without knowing it. Azo was being influenced by a patient, but that patient really wasn't himself at the time. I don't feel like any one of those really articulates what happened, unless I'm missing something, but let's do number 2. You finish your explanation and Ethelmore breaks his silence. I have read accounts of people in history who could do what you describe. The accounts are few and brief and never reliable. Some go as far as to suggest that they are all the same person. If truly such a person was here among us, plotting our ruin, would that I had a body again and could be of some real use in our time of need. I fear that the future may hold for this place. I am grateful you were able to dispatch the threat before there was loss of innocent life. We very nearly had another scandal on our hands. What of Azo? What part did his experiments play in this catastrophe? Azo was only trying to help the patients. The Leaden Key took advantage of him. The Leaden Key would have found a way to interfere with the sanitarium even without Azo. If I hadn't come along, Azo's experiments would have eventually resulted in another scandal. Yeah. Did the Leaden Key take advantage of him? Not really. I'm going to say number 2. The Leaden Key would have found a way to interfere with the sanitarium even without Azo. That's not false. Your half answer suggests a bias, but it also suggests it's as close to the truth as I'll get from you. Caedmon will remain here, but he will be monitored, and under no circumstances will he have access to any equipment. Oh. Okay.
Hail and well met.
That's it? There's no progress in the quest. Okay, let's go talk to Caedmon Azo again. Give him the update. I feel like that's kind of the worst of both. But we'll see. He's down here. I don't think he's going to be happy with us. It'll be some time before things calm down here. Okay. Was that progress? I don't know. But we do need to rest is what I do know. So let's go do that. Does every district have an inn, or is it just the Copper Run?
Sagani, does your fox bite?
Yes.
Oh,
Can I
Durant
pet him
saw that.
anyway?
It's your hand.
I'm gonna pet him.
That's a very Matt Mercer thing to say. Let's see if we can give him a skill in mechanics. Yes. Okay, so we can go down and unlock that chest now. Brilliant Radiance. Enemies take burn damage from the priest's Holy Radiance. Vessels take increased burn damage. Yeah, we're kind of focusing him to be a healer. So let's see if there's a talent that gives him a more healing focused bonus. Let's do that. Condemns the priest's foes, dazing them. Inspired Flame. The Faithful of Magrin gain the accuracy bonus with sword and arquebus, and can cast a special version of Burst of Summer Flame. Aggrandizing Radiance. Everyone receives less healing from the priest's Holy Radiance, but the priests gain a bonus to all attributes and movement. Definitely not. Inspiring Radiance. Allies get an accuracy bonus from the priest's Holy Radiance. That could be good. Could be good. Accuracy bonus from Holy Radiance. Or enemies take burn damage. Yeah, we can give our guys an accuracy bonus from Holy Radiance. You know what I want to get for him is that ring that gives him all those bonus spell slots. Where was that? I think that was in the court in the Copper Run area. So let's give him the accuracy bonus. to his Holy Radiance. I think that'll be good. Done. Okay, so let's head back in and loot that chest in, what's his name? Azo's office, because I think we have the mechanic skill to do that now. So we'll do a little bit of backtracking here.
You must get.
Do. Backing track. Track backing. Head to Iloth's office. Let's see what you're hiding in here. So we did find that light armor, which is very good. Durance.
A simple test. That's settled.
Yes. Ravenwing, a one-handed mace. 18 to 26 crushing damage. Its properties are DR reduction, coordinating, and damage 3. I think that might be good for Adair. Let's check that out. Make sure we have him selected. So he does 13 to 19 damage right now, so that's a great increase. Reliable against spirits. It's a bonus to Constitution, but a subtraction to Will. So this does coordinating and damaging 3. So let's see what that does. So he has a damage reduction bypass, which is great. More damage. Accuracy when attacking the same target as an ally, which will be great because, yeah, he'll be attacking the same targets of other allies all the time. Plus 25% damage when attacking the same target as an ally. Awesome. Damaging 3, so plus 45% damage and plus 4 to accuracy. Yep. Awesome. So we're going to give that to him. That is great. Yeah, this is an upgrade for Sagani. Breakout, preservation, and fine. What does that do? Oh, right. Cool. So yeah, we're going to give that to Sagani. Much better. And then we can stash the rest of this stuff. I think I can just double click, right? Nope. What is this? Let's move the chat over here. Oh. I didn't even see that before. I will be right back, guys. I'm just going to take a quick 30-second bio. And we're back. So let's check out this two-handed scepter. Geared Haywen Stains. It's a soulbound scepter, two-handed. It's a fast attack speed, which is better than Thane's Reach. It only does 13 to 20 crushing damage, raw lash, and accurate 4. So what does that mean? Plus 20% raw damage. Accurate. Bind this item to unlock the next level. How do you do that? Oh, you can bind your soul to it. Interesting. Alright, let's try it. This weapon can only be bound to characters of the following classes: Wizard, Priest, Druid. Oh. Okay. It's got a 10-meter range. Oh. So I think it shoots. Wow. So we can give that to Aloth or Durance. I feel like with all of the damage bonuses, we should give it to Aloth, because he's going to be more of our damage-focused guy. So let's bind it to him. Ba-boom. Oh, and you can sever the binding. So, as he uses it, deal 200 raw damage to enemies with Geared Haywen's Steins to unlock the next level. Interesting. So you can level up the item by using it. That is cool. That is really cool. Yeah, so let's give it to him. Nice. Very cool. Can't believe we almost overlooked that. Yeah, so we need to move some of this stuff over. For selling. Actually, we were going to keep that bow on her just in case. Great. Awesome. I can't believe we didn't have that staff out sooner. So we got 2 weapon upgrades there, which is really good. Alright, so now we can head out and continue adventuring around the city. Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate you hanging out with me and playing some PoE. If it's your first time in the stream, just welcome. Thanks for being here. Just drinking some coffee. Alright, let's get out of here. Seen enough of this place. And I'm just going to move the chat over here again. Actually, we'll leave it there for now. Okay. Let's head to House Domino. Just simply because we haven't been there yet. Oh, the cinematic here.
Hail, traveler!
Obi-Wan says thumbs up. Thanks, Obi-Wan. Beg your pardon, I have a message for you. You are summoned to Hadrit House, where Lady Webb wishes to meet with you as soon as possible. And here I thought the locals were exaggerating about Dunrid Row. Seems like your name's come up in some important meetings. I hope nobody was shouting it at the time. How did you know where to find me? Well, it's Lady Webb. She knows everything. Tell me about Lady Webb. Do you not know Lady Webb? She's, well, no one's seen her exactly in a long time, but she's the mistress of Dunrid Row. Has been for as long as anyone can remember. He pauses, eyeing passerby with suspicion. Quietly, he continues. She's supposed to be old, older than anybody, and she never leaves her room. Some say she's wasted away and she's just a pile of bones kept animated by dark magics. She's still at it, best anyone can tell, learning things, keeping us safe, pulling the strings from behind the throne too, it's said. Has a ring of ciphers doing her bidding, telling her everything that goes on. You do wrong in this country, before you go asking the gods for forgiveness, best you ask Lady Webb first. What's Dunrid Row? A whole mess of ciphers, run out of the Hadrit House. They make it their business to keep the peace, but they don't like you to see them do it. Problems in this city have a way of going away on their own, and when that happens, you can make a pretty good guess as to why. Where can I find Hadrit House? It's just over there, my lord, the southwest corner of Brackenbury. You'll find the lady upstairs. Very well. Okay, well, we were going to go to the other place, but let's go to Hadrit House. Oh, here we are. Older robed man. As you near the apparition, you are overcome suddenly by a powerful anxiety that sits like a stone in your stomach. The feeling is not quite real, the recollection of an emotion rather than the emotion itself. It wrenches your insides, nevertheless. The apparition's brow is tensed, a look of concern plain across its face.
The other missionaries say you have been neglectful of your duties.
My mind has been elsewhere.
Oh? And what troubles you?
The pain in your stomach deepens, and you feel for a moment as though you are about to be sick. Your mouth has gone dry. Forgive me, Eminence. I wish to leave the order. The man folds his fingers together and presses them to his mouth, thoughtful.
You have been an apt student, and your convictions have inspired those around you. May I ask what has changed to make you feel this way?
The people we intended to convert, they committed unspeakable acts, sacrifices, mutilations. My family has not taken my new faith well. They no longer speak to me. I've done nothing unforgivable. We were attacked on my last mission. Unspeakable acts. Sacrifices, mutilations. I'm going to say my family has not taken to my new faith well. The apparition exhales slowly, and its lips press together, a sympathetic wrapper in its eyes. It places its hand on your shoulder.
The trials of faith can be without mercy, separating us from those we love, leaving no easy answers.
I have failed the gods. I have broken my oath.
You have failed no one. The gods would not ask you to abandon your family. It is your family that has failed you.
They stand by their beliefs.
Yet they do not allow you the same. They would have you trade your deepest beliefs for their affections. If you allow this, you will gain their acceptance, but lose their respect.
What other choice do I have?
Hold firm to your convictions. Continue your work. Believe in the power of the gods to reach all people. Your family will find them on their own.
And what if they don't?
As long as you worship the gods, you will never be without family. You needn't choose between the two.
Will you stay with us? Finish what you started? The knot in your stomach seems to loosen all at once, and the anxiety is replaced with something else entirely. Something warm and soothing, and it is something you know you can never repay. As the vision fades, you start to become cognizant of the many odd looks aimed in your direction. Your last response echoes in your mind. I will. Huh? Who's this? Lyra. Oh, just a soul to read. Okay. Interesting. Let's do a quick save there. And we're going to head into the house here to talk to Lady Webb. Alright. Lots of stairs. The marble at the base has been worn smooth by the passage of hundreds of feet. Alright. Let's talk to the agents. Kurin's wasting his time with those disappearances. So Lady Webb's upstairs. Let's just explore the main floor here first. Who do we have here? Agents everywhere. Kurin, what's up?
Welcome.
The Orlan man is surrounded by books and scrolls. His wiry hair stands nearly on end, and his ears prick up as you approach. You carry whispers, Cadnua, Gilded Veil, old voices indeed. How did you know? The Orlan grins, revealing a row of dagger-pointed teeth. As a cipher, it's my job to know these things. You carry the whiff of ancients. What else can you tell me? His ears twitch downwards. Not as much as I would like, unfortunately. My duties for Lady Webb require me to focus my talents elsewhere. He regards the table piled with scrolls. What brings you to Dunrid Row? I was invited here by Lady Webb. Kurin cocks his head to one side as if trying to get a better look at you. Forgive me. She doesn't make many visitors, but the ones she does invite are a fascinating lot. I have always marveled at her choices. Nothing in common to my eyes, but her sight is far keener than mine. I wonder what it is she sees. Her room is upstairs, the one with the guards out front. The city may not understand her value, but the Duke certainly does. It looks as though you could use some help. So many secrets and trails in this city. You have to but turn a corner to find a fresh trace of something stolen, or someone missing. He flicks an ear. Unfortunately, we haven't the time to investigate them all. I am supposed to be working on other matters, but my mind still lingers on a few recent cases. Curse of a cipher, to be ruled by the whims of curiosity. Tell me about the cases. One case or three, depending on how you look at it. He taps his clawed fingers together. 3 weeks and a disappearance at the end of each. Some might call it coincidence. I call it a clue. Lady Webb knows you, trusts you, so I shall trust you too, so long as your interests are aligned. I'll look into it. Where should I start? Sagani bounces on the balls of her feet. Just like one of those Valen whodunits. Read a few of those on the road. Help pass the time. He grins, razor-tipped teeth showing between his lips. Copper Lane, Andra's Gift, and Brackenbury, of course. To talk to the ones who reported the disappearances, the only ones who know enough to care. Laura, Ollie, and Elka. Who's missing? 2 men, 1 woman. Lendry, Kendall, and Cora. Tell me about Lendry. Best to ask Ollie. Seems they drank together at the Salty Mass in Andra's Gift. Also, seems that no one else knew him well enough to miss him. One of his ears twitches. Tell me about Kendall. Reported missing by Elka, a dwarf who carried traces of... He closes his eyes and sniffs the air. Fine wine and young dandies. Plenty of time and money to spend on her pleasures. Try back Brackenbury. Tell me about Cora. Sister of Laura, one of the merchants in the Copper Lane Bazaar. Not the kind of person who would just disappear, it seems. Did you find any leads? Not yet. No obvious connection between the victims, which is what makes me wonder so. He runs his hand along the length of one ear. Could be animancy related. Researchers always need subjects, the less scrupulous types in particular. He pauses, deep in concentration. Seems too risky for the sanitarium, but one never knows. Aloth folds his arms. I wouldn't put it past them. He waves a hand. Talk first to the people who reported our victims missing. Mayhap you will catch something I missed. I'll let you know what I find. Farewell. Okay. So is this like the town hall or the police station? Kind of. Can I loot?
What?
Save? Let's see if Durance can find us some
I can do that.
good loot.
That's settled.
Yep. Fine leather.
A simple test. That's settled.
Ooh. Potion of minor recovery. We got a level up for that. Nice. Sagani. Leveling up. So we want to spec her into survival. Stealth could be good too. Let's get her up to 5 stealth, and we'll keep the rest for our next level into survival. Let's see what her new skill ups here are. Vicious Companion trains the ranger's animal companion into vicious attacks, causing it to deal more damage and penetrate damage reduction with each hit. I don't think that's what we want. We want high bow damage. The ranger's aim becomes deadlier, making his or her wounding shots more accurate. Modifies wounding shot plus 10 accuracy. So she gets 2 wounding shots per encounter. Interesting. Resilient Companion. The ranger's animal companion gains improved damage reduction against all damage types. Merciless Companion. Animal companions do small amounts of sneak attack damage against targets that qualify. Grants Merciless Companion. No. Aspirant's Mark. Once per encounter, the character has attuned themselves to the natural world like a druid and is able to focus its power on an enemy with the effects of the Nature's Mark spell, which is an AoE, -8 deflection, -8 reflex for 35 seconds. That could be really good. I kind of like that. It's like Hunter's Mark. Polex's Stock Flail, Wand, Warbow. We could give her +6 accuracy to the Warbow, because we do know that she's going to stick with that. Savage Attack. +20 to melee damage. No. Envenom Strike. 3 per rest. We could give her an Envenom Strike. Marksman. Passive. +5 accuracy against distant enemies. That would be a good passive to have. Penetrating shot. Yeah, I like Marksman. Accurate wounding shot, 2 per encounter. So she's probably going to lose a lot more than 2 shots. She gets plus 10 accuracy to wounding shot, but I like marksman because it's plus 5 accuracy to all shots. So against distant enemies. So let's just make sure we do our best to keep her at a distance. Let's go marksman. Great. Okay. Sorry, Good. We looted all your stuff. Thanks for leaving the room.
Ready, Watcher.
See if we can stealth her behind the backs of these people. Anywhere to hide in here?
I'll take a look.
No. Can you leave the room and hide?
Slow and silent. I'm on the trail.
Let's see. No. They're on like a patrol pattern. Let's see here if I can slip in. Nope. Okay.
I'll take a look.
Yeah, we don't need to loot the police station. So, I think we can head upstairs. Actually, let's check out this room. Yeah.
Ready,
there's
Watcher.
Some more loot here. An egg. Great. Alright, let's go chat with Lady Webb. It's time we paid her a visit.
I'm here.
Let's see if we can get out of this chest. Nope. Does this guy leave? I don't think so. Lots of agents everywhere. Oh, Lady Webb will see you now. Okay. I'm just going to loot Lady Webb's place first. So let's do that. Okay. Lady Webb, how are you?
Yeah.
This woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with spindly, wrinkled fingers, their flesh stretched thin to near translucence with extreme age. A gossamer veil over pale blue veins. Ink splotches and candle burns dot and stripe her hands like a quilt patterned after some great, indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aothis look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
This is exactly what I would picture Aloth's mother to be like.
And this fiasco in the sanitarium that you seem to have gotten yourself into the middle of. What in blazes possessed you to stir that nest of trouble?
I'm investigating a strange group.
Strange does not begin to describe them. The practices of the Leaden Key defy all reason. You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend, which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the Leaden Key?
One of their members caused my soul to awaken. I need him to reverse it. She closes her eyes, and the lids flicker. Then her face goes still, and her mouth parts, little more than a sliver, and her hand briefly drops open, spilling some of her parchment on the ground, the pages wafting around her legs, like the leaves of a dying tree. Her fleshy eyelids peel back, and her gaze is immediately upon you.
The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon, Grand Master of the Leaden Key. One of the most elusive and dangerous men Eora has ever known.
How do you know I seek Theos?
Because you have seen his face, and that makes it a simple matter for me to see it. You even happened to catch him in his ceremonial garb, it seems. It must have been a special occasion.
What can you tell me about Theos?
More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The Leaden Key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the one who created it. What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man, awakened during adolescence with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Woedica's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism. That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity. He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems.
What do you want from me?
Keep me informed. The Leaden Key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunreed Row will not stop you. Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will surely point you to Theos. In return, I will share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can.
Very well.
If you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you.
There is something I can tell you about the Leaden Key's operations.
Well, let's hear it.
I found Theos in Brackenbury Sanitarium impersonating a patient. He was trying to damage the public's opinion of animancy.
Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep. This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this.
That's all.
Try your
Farewell.
best not to die out there.
Thanks. Okay.
Huh?
So we need to inform her about the activities of the Leaden Key. Great. Let's head to the... Where are
From
we right
Gilded
now?
Vale?
Brackenbury.
Then you're close to home.
Close can mean a lot of things.
Surely you'll go back when this is all over.
Dunno. Guess that all depends.
What's up, Nadine?
Gods keep you.
We want to find the person who... Oh, there. Elka.
Gods keep you.
This dwarven woman is dressed and perfumed like a member of the nobility, but her sun-reddened skin and sweat-stained outfit suggest that she's been out here for quite some time. Afraid I don't have time just now. I'm investigating Kendall's disappearance. Her eyebrows rise. That little Orlin finally got serious about this case, eh? I'm looking into the disappearance for him. Elka snorts. What? Is that little whelp too good for a case like this? Penrod Rose strapped for resources at the moment, so Curran sent me. Well, I'm glad someone's on it. She rolls her eyes. Anyway, I'll tell you whatever I can. What do you need to know? Tell me about Kendall. What's to tell? She was a pretty young lad. Or he was a pretty young lad. Not the brightest of the bunch, but always pleasant company. How do you know Kendall? Elka smirks. We met up from time to time over the past few months. It was just a fling, really. It wasn't going to last. She picks at the corner of her sleeve and looks away. He was a little fool, but a sweet little fool. What was Kendall doing before he disappeared? She laughed sadly. The worst blazing rendition of the general's speech from The Widow of the Wood that I've ever heard. She shakes her head. I love that fellow, but he was a tragic failure. Somehow, he managed to get in with an acting troupe. When and where did you last speak to Kendall? A week ago. He came back to my house for a bit of fun. Afterwards, we fell asleep, and when I woke up, he was gone. No note, nothing. Had you noticed anything different about Kendall lately? He'd started hanging out with a bunch of actors. Seemed alright, except for that woman. She scowls. That woman with her long, willowy legs and slender arms always came around wearing these low-cut dresses and impossible shoes. What was her name? I don't know. I never cared to learn it. She uncrosses her arms and lets them slowly fall to her sides. I didn't realize it might be important. That's all the questions I have right now. If you think of any more, you know where I'll be. Okay, so we gotta investigate the acting troupe. Let's go to Copper Run.
Sure.
Or Copper Lane. I just want to see... I can't remember if that's where that ring was that's for sale. Because we have... I think we have more money now, right? Oh, no, we don't. Okay, well, let's liquidate our trash and see if we can afford that ring. Minutes. That would be really good for endurance. Gives him plus like a bonus to a lot of level 1, level 2, and level 3 spells.
How's the hand?
And we have to investigate.
To pet him.
Oh. You asked me for one, and I said no, not until you're older and more responsible. Do you remember this conversation? Gordy's eyes are fixed on the ground in front of him. Yes, sir. And yet I find you out here, playing with a blade that clearly belongs to the knights. Do you see the problem? I didn't steal it, honest. I traded a secret for it. He points at you. Ask him. Haymore turns to you. Is what my son says true? He wants to be a Crucible Knight. I thought it was a good way to get him started in an honorable profession. Yes it is. He's just a boy. Do you understand me? What were you thinking? Getting him a blade like that? You stay away from him from now on. Come along, Gordy. I won't have you loitering out here all day.
If I'm not supposed to pet him, why is he so soft?
Sorry, Gordy. Papa says, Papa says, Papa goes. Papa says goes. There we go. Alright, let's head up here, because there is somebody in the investigation that's here. Laura.
Hail and well met.
I'm looking into some disappearances. I hear that your sister's gone missing. Laura's voice drops to a whisper. I didn't think anyone would help me. When Cora disappeared, I tried Denred Row, the Crucible Knights, even the dozens here. She pointed her thumb at the large building behind her. No one had time to look for a missing girl then. She bites her lip. That was 3 weeks ago. If there's anything I can tell you that will help, just ask. Tell me about Cora. She's my younger sister. Always had a head full of dreams. She was convinced there was something special waiting for her, that she'd be remembered and happy and important. Laura shakes her head. She's got plenty of heart, but not the commitment to match. Still, when she got that theater job, I thought she was just about to turn around. What was Cora doing around the time she disappeared? She just got into this acting troupe called the Laura's brows knit. You know this. Concentrate. The Revel of Stars. That's it. She was pretty inexperienced, Laura hesitates. I think that's why she was so excited to get a role. I'm afraid I didn't know anything else about it. When and where did you last see your sister? She was at our house, getting ready for her big performance. That was 3 weeks ago. Did you see Cora with anyone when she disappeared? She is very sociable. She's always enjoyed crowds. I'm afraid I can't narrow it down beyond that. That's all I need to know right now. Laura puts both hands over her heart. You don't know how much this means to me, just to know that someone's actually looking for her. Anything else I can do for you? Nope.
Yeah.
Alright, so it looks like we're triangulating on this,
Well met, friend.
acting troupe. Where's that ring? Okay, so this guy doesn't have it. Or is it in armor? No. I don't see it. Who had that special ring? That was really good. I don't remember. Let's sell some stuff. It's only 2,000 copper. So, that's not enough to buy the ring anyways. Was it Laura?
Greetings.
Yes, okay. Seal of Faith. 14,000 copper. Oh, and a Ring of Wizardry. Oh, we need 2 rings from her. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Well, we're going to save up for those. I'm going to just do a quick save. And let's see where we are here. We need to head to, I believe it's First Fires is the only place remaining that we need to check out for the investigation. So let's head that way. Actually, before we do that, I just want to check out the rest of Brackenbury. There's a few places there we haven't gone yet. And then we'll head over to First Fires. So I feel like that's going to open up some more of the storyline. So let's head to Brackenbury. So we haven't been to the Charred Barrel or the Raymont Manor. So let's head to Raymont Manor and see what's in store there. Okay. Guards and servants. Noble's house, maybe? Ooh. Maybe some
Ready,
looting.
Watcher.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Too many guards. Lord Raymont.
Good day to you.
Good day to you. Well met. Lord Raymont holds a shipping manifest in his well-manicured hands. Despite his expensive clothes, he has the sallow complexion and restless air of a man who devotes all of his days and most of his nights to work. If you have business to discuss, make an appointment with my attendant. I don't have time for unexpected visitors. Let's give him the letter. I have uncovered a plot to rob you. He lowers his papers and looks at you for the first time. Is that so? Let me see that. He scans the parchment with the speed of an expert clerk. When he returns his attention to you, his tone is brisk and businesslike. You've done this house and this city a great service. I'm certain you will consider this an adequate reward for your labors. Party gained 3,366 experience. You didn't give me anything. Where's the copper? This letter was signed AD. Does that mean anything to you? Oh, there it is. 2,000 copper. Hello. I suspect it means Abracan Dominel, the scion of House Dominel. A look of disgust crosses his face. A pampered, pandered lad, if ever there was one. You get an item, Ring of Unshackling, as well. Nice. Check that out. He's ruthless, I'll give him that much. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the wits to match his appetites. Okay. Tell me about House Dominel. They were once an eminent and admired house. Now they're just a den of thieves. Back in the Deerwoods colonial days, the Dominels were respected members of the ducal court, which is why it is so surprising that they remained loyal to Adir during Hadrit's rebellion. When Hadrit and the Deerwood won independence, the Dominels lost their favor, but not their wealth. Rather than return to Adir, like other loyalist houses, they dug their heels in here and turned from politics to commerce. He shrugs. In one way of looking at it, they simply partnered with the wrong side. Not that they haven't proposed since, in their own way. He rubs his jaw. Lately, they've been seeking to carve out a new niche for themselves, one right between the Crucible Knights and the Dozens, it seems. And what's so important about this gem? The heart of White March is a nearly flawless diamond. It's also the patrimony of the dwarves of White March. It was seized by an Adiran lord in the early days of colonization, and the dwarves haven't forgotten it. Now, the Knights of the Dozens are both bidding for it to make a peace offering to the dwarves. He shrugs. Whichever party buys it, the dwarves will make useful allies for Defiance Bay, especially these days. And what will you do now? Lord Raymont pinches crisp, sharp creases into the note. Eliminate the competition. Okay. So, we're not going to loot in front of Lord Raymont. Alright. Well, let's explore the rest of his palace here to see if we can't find any clues. Lynette, who are you? Oh, you're his daughter. Just busy with books. Alright, let's head upstairs to see if we can explore up there. Raymont servant says, the old serving woman regards with you blearing eyes. Begging your pardon, but I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to return downstairs. Visitors aren't permitted on the upper floor. Oh. I'm not going to backhand an old woman in a noble's house, and I'm not going to attack her. So let's just go back downstairs for now. Let me see if I can stealth up there with Sagani. Oh no, I still have everyone selected. Whoops. Back downstairs. Why is it an old woman and not a guard? Why is everyone going? I guess you can't just take one person. Interesting. Okay. Oh, that's that. Maybe we'll come back to that. If we have to go up there for some other reason, or the quest takes us up there to get the gem.
Your brother, did you and he get along?
We got along how brothers do. He used to throw water on me to wake me up in the morning. I used to fill his boots with stinging ants.
My own brothers and sisters are doing very well for themselves, back in Tekoa. I don't know that they'd search for me if I were killed so far from home.
Brothers can be funny. I bet you'd be surprised how far they'd go.
Interesting. Little brotherly love. Thristwin. The young elf is dressed in gaudy robes that he seems ready to cast off. He picks at a heavily brocaded sleeve and continually adjusts the gold chain around his neck. He looks up at you. Did she send you to run me out of town? You can tell her I'm not going anywhere without that medallion. I told Cyril I wouldn't let her sell it. If that's what you're here about, then save yourself the trouble. He puffs up his chest but glances at the exit. I'm not after you, but maybe I can help? He pulls at a shining button. That's a relief, but I don't see how. Cyril's a courtesan over at the Salty Mast in Andra's Gift. We've been working together for over a year now. I find a noble with more money than sense, fill him up with liquor, and send him her way. They have a good time, and Cyril takes a fee, and a little extra. He rubs his fingers together. 100 coppers here, a trinket there. It's a bounty for us, and these lords and ladies never notice anything missing. Okay, so he's a pimp. Go on. Anyway, we always split the bounty until a week ago. He squeezes his lips into a tight frown. She takes a necklace off some noble. It's an Engwithan medallion, damn near priceless. That relic is sacred to my clan, but she won't part with it for any sum I could afford. He tugs at the gold chain around his neck, and even if I wanted to, I can't go home without it. That's a hard thing. I'll see about getting the medallion from Cyril. You're both a couple of cheats, and you're finally getting what you deserve. Good riddance. Tell me about your situation. He picks at the hem of his sleeve. What do you want to know? What makes this medallion so important to you? Tell me about Cyril. You seem like you've done well enough for yourself. Why is this medallion so important to you? I grew up in Air Glanfath and with the Shattering Spear clan. We Glenfathans have protected Engwithan ruins for thousands of years. It's the one duty the gods ask of us in exchange for the freedom to live as we please. He fidgets with an emerald ring on his pinky. But treasure hunters looted the ruins in our territory, and we left the wilds we dwelled in for generations. Most of my clanmates scattered to towns around the Deerwood and probably live on crusts of bread. He looks at his embroidered robes with disgust. Restoring this medallion to the ruins would earn us the gods' forgiveness. The Shattering Spear could go home. This is all rather fascinating. A single medallion to earn the gods' favor and so return home? It rather reminds me of a story I heard somewhere. I still don't understand why you can't take your money and return to Air Glanfath. He sighs, arching his neatly plucked eyebrows. Of course I could, but I'm not talking about logic and practicality. A community isn't a place, it's a connection to history and meaning. He makes circles with his wrists, like an anchor, defending the ruins for the gods gave us purpose. Without that, we're adrift. Does this make any sense to you? Yes. He smiles and nods slowly. Then you know what it's like, how to care for something you can't explain. Tell me about Cero. She's a courtesan at the Salty Mass over an Andra's gift. She wasn't born to much, but she's done what she has to in order to escape that. He gazes at a string of amber beads around his wrist. She's a good friend. He folds his arms in his trailing, wrinkled sleeves. Without her, I'd probably be living hand to mouth like the rest of the Shattering Spear. But this isn't about her or me. It's about the 40 people in my clan and the way of life we've held to for generations. You seem like you've done well enough for yourself. He clenches his heavily adorned hands. It was this or scrape by in the gutters like the rest of my clan, but I'd give it all for that medallion. I offered to, but it's worth more than anything I've got, and Cyril knows it. That's all I wanted to ask. So will you help me get the medallion? I'll see about getting the medallion from Cyril. You'll find her at the Salty Mast. The only way anyone sees her these days is by paying, so you have to go through Maya. He fidgets with his sleeve. But whatever you do, please don't hurt her. Alright, so I have to talk to Cyril at the Salty Mast. What we got here? Some fruit. Oh, and here's the stage. Interesting. Let's talk to the understudy. And though it may splinter my soul, I will. I wonder if this is where the acting troupe is. Let's talk to Hannah. Just a soul to read. Victor, same. Okay, let's head in the back. Talk to the cook. What's up? Please don't track dirt into my kitchen. My bad. Alright, we'll head downstairs. Check out what's down here. Bandits! Talk to me, bandits. Wait, let's stay as a group. Get nice and close. Actually, let's get in battle formation. Because I feel like we're going to have to fight these guys.
Yeah.
I want you over here, footman. Wolfie up there.
Aye?
I'm here.
There.
Yeah.
Now we'll talk to the bandits. Just having a little chat with my associates. Oh. Okay.
Ready, Watcher.
Well. I don't mind killing bandits if they don't like us looting. Just some booze. We'll leave it.
Huh?
So... nothing to see here, eh, guys? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're up to no good, but I have no reason to attack them. Alright, let's head upstairs. See what we can see. I'm wondering if the acting troupe is in this building. I'm not sure. I think they said they were an Andra's gift, so... who are these guys? Just souls to read. Kilosis. Nope. Okay.
That's settled.
So that is stealing. Let's save it. We got the XP.
Ready, Watcher.
Let's see if we can hide here. Back here, maybe? Behind the table? No? Okay. I don't think we'll be able to make it all the way from here.
Huh?
Ready, Watcher.
To the... oh, maybe. Yes. Yoink. Nice. Save it.
Huh?
Merowith, talk to me. Merwith watches you through kohl-rimmed eyes. She puts her hand on the hilt of her blade, jangling the jewels that hang from her wrist. We don't know each other, stranger. Best we keep it that way. What brings you to the charred barrel? Merwith raises an eyebrow. What's it look like? Good wine and a little peace and quiet. She flips a copper coin with her thumb. And Skarian doesn't ask too many questions. You don't seem like a Blackenbury local. I'm a sailor. She gives you a half smile. And a liberator of certain goods. Merwith casually fingers a large earring. And the nice thing about the snobs here is that they're usually too polite to ask more. I'll be going. Alright, so we know where Merwith is if we need to find her later. What's on the shelf here? Some trash. Okay. Nothing more to see up here. So I guess the acting troupe isn't located here. Which is fine. We do need to rest up, so why don't we just stay at the inn here?
Hail, traveler.
Abelhart Skarian. The man is dressed in neat but functional clothes. His sun-wrinkled skin and limber musculature reflect a life spent in the wilderness. Well met. What brings you to the charred barrel? Is this your place? It's my retirement. He thumps the bar. Used to be a warehouse back when Brackenbury saw more ship traffic, but it fell out of use when the area became mostly residential. I inherited it from some great uncle who'd never had any luck pawning it off my cousins. Now it's the most popular spot in Brackenbury. The nobles come to unwind, and kith from other districts come to mingle. He leans closer. We get a few rough types too, but they behave in here. Besides, their coin's as good as anyone else's. Who are you? I was a cartographer for the Duke for decades. He rubs his neatly stubbled cheek. Crossed the White Marsh half a dozen times and mapped most of the ruins of Thane Bog. He grins, flashing a gold tooth. A good career, but one suited to younger men. When I came back to Defiance Bay for good, Cliver and a few other friends in the Knights helped me get the rights to refurbish this place. There's strong ale, quality entertainment, and a fresh sea breeze. He raises a mug. What more could a man want? Show me your rooms. The criminal's getaway. We don't need a fancy room. We don't need to spend copper here. We can go to Copper Lane and stay there if we need to. It's much cheaper. Save some dough. Save some copper. Okay. So we went to Raymont Manor. We went to the Charred Barrel. We have not been to House Domino yet, which is the rival house of the other fellow we found in Raymont Manor. So why don't we go investigate that house and see if they truly did put the order out on stealing that gem from the Raymont house. Ark of the Gath. Just a soul to read. Okay. Let's head inside and see what we can see. See what we can hear. The Domino Doorman.
Hail, traveler.
The burly guard eyes you warily. Excuse me. I don't recognize you. What business do you have with House Domino? I'm just here to loot the place and kill anyone in my way. Just kidding. Tell me about House Domino. It's an old and respected family. Much of Defiance Bay's prosperity is due to Domino business activities. Now, do you have any further business? Nope. I will see you out. Oh. Okay.
Well, whatever happens, at least we're out of that mud hole, Gilded Vale. I grew up in Gilded Vale. Quaint. That's what I meant to call it. No, you had it right.
I'm pretty sure that's Matt Mercer talking to Matt Mercer, which is awesome. Okay, so that's kind of all we can get at first glance of this area. So let's head up to First Fires now, which is the Oh, that's like the main area. We also need to go to Heritage Hill still, and Undra's Gift. Holy smokes. Or we could go to Copper Lane and rest. Let's do that first. We'll go to Copper Lane and rest, and then we'll go to First Fires. Let's make sure we're all topped up. I think that'll be our best bet. And that's at the Goose and Fox. The Goose and Fox. It's the Goose and Fox. Game's running nice and crispy clean today. It's nice. Okay. Let's get a room.
How do you do?
Can I get a room? The common room. We just want to be at full health. I don't need any bonuses to fight right now. As far as we know. Do a little quick save, and then we'll head out. Your dealings with House Domino will reflect in PoE 2, says Obi-Wan. Oh, really? Well, I don't have any, oh, there's the amphitheater there. I wonder if that's where the acting troupe is. Yeah, we don't have any, direct quests, I don't think, to take us in there just yet, so I'm not sure I want to run in headlong and kill everybody in the house. So there are actors here. Let's talk to Lumdala. The statuesque woman has a gaze that could cut stone. She turns her chiseled cheekbones to the sky and favors you with a look of acknowledgement. Her eyes shimmer under silvered eyeshadow and a razor-precise line of kohl. Before you can speak, she throws her hand up in dramatic fashion. Obi-Wan says, "I'll say no more." Appreciate it. No spoilers.
Hail and well met.
Autographs after the performance, please. Great art requires great concentration, and greatness is expected from the Revel of Stars. I was wondering if a woman named Cora was part of your group. I can't say I recognize the name. She suddenly seems focused on the length of her fingernails. That's odd. Her sister said she was part of the Revel of Stars. Maybe. But what should I know about it? My work requires great focus and attention. She flicks her fingertips in frustration. I don't have time to coach every young amateur who joins our troupe for a week. I suppose I can spare a moment for a fan. I'm looking for Kendall. Apparently he joined your group. No experience, terrible actor. Sound familiar? She narrows her silvered eyes. I'm not sure who this Kendall is or why you would malign our talent. But rest assured that we have a process for evoking a satisfying performance from even the most inexperienced players. What do you do? That depends entirely on the demands of the role. She lays a slender hand on her chest. I am the Pallid Knight, the Widow of the Wood, and the Warrior Queen Mocha, all at different times. To live a different life each day is a glorious thing indeed, my friend. What is the Revel of Stars? We are the finest theater troupe in the city. We believe that the best art is immersive and true of life. She looks at the amphitheater with a rapturous expression. We stage our performances right here in Copper Lane for the edification of all. Does the Revel of Stars take in any new members? But of course, good drama is a balm to the soul, and we wish to offer a true theatrical experience to as many as possible. What kind of members do you take? We'll take in the new and old, and tall and small, the experienced and inexperienced, whoever is best suited to fulfill a role to the utmost. And how long do you keep members? As long as they are able to satisfy the demands of their roles. She smooths a wayward strand of hair. True acting can be a grueling process, so some last longer than others. I'd like to ask something else. I guess that's it for now. So, Cadel, what do you have to say? Can't talk. Anybody up here? No. So maybe we have to go and talk to the third lead before we'll find any more information out. Great. So let's head over to First Fires. This looks like the central part of town. Look at that. Some huge buttresses. Oh, we have been here. We just haven't explored it yet. Yeah, we've been to the Valiant Embassy. We've been to the Ducal Palace. Oh. Okay. So maybe we don't need to be here right this second. Where is the third person that we're supposed to talk to? The Hermit of the Hadrit House. No. Durgan's Battery. No. Far From Home. The final act, that is. Like some disappearances. Speak with 3 contacts. Ollie, if you could. Okay, so we need to talk to Ollie at Andra's in Andra's Gift. So where is that? Down here. Let's go to Andra's Gift. That is where we must go. Talk to Ollie. Andra's Gift. Everything's 15 minutes away when you're in Defiance Bay. Okay. Abandoned House, Kolfkig's house, Ada's house, the Salty Mast, Valiant Trading Company, Ramshackle House, the Lighthouse. Lots to explore here. Alright, well, let's start with the Salty Mast. A local lad reported missing. Is that all you know? Okay. What do you know? Right, head around this side. Drunken Sailor, do you have anything to say for yourself? Hick. That is what you are. Oh. What is this? Grab his purse and go! Oh, snap. My man. This man's fancy clothes are ripped and blood flows from a fresh cut above his eye. He tries to push himself up, but his arm is shaking. He winces painfully. Help him up. Thank you, he gasps as he rises. My head. What happened? He carefully dabs at his bloody nose with a silk handkerchief. I was just on my way to the club. He slowly stretches out one leg, grimacing at his scraped knee. It's a rough part of town, but the rabble's never been violent. Even a night with Ikali isn't worth this. He limps away. Oh. Okay. So, sounds like he was on his way to get some goodies. Let's check this out. Oh. Okay, let's bring everyone with us. I didn't realize we could run down here into the water. Mud squelches underfoot. Crabs scuttle out of the debris.
Huh?
What do we have here? Darren. A young boy's corpse lies at your feet, half covered in dirt and seaweed. His hands have stiffened around a dagger. A soul lingers nearby, something confused and lost in the seaside fog. Hopefully it's not the boy that we gave the march dagger to. Reach toward the soul. As you reach for the soul, it lashes out. Glowing mist strikes at the air around you. The soul can't touch you, but you feel it burn with a feeble, uncontrolled rage. It's okay, I'm here to help you. The soul flickers. It ripples toward you. Timidly at first, as it swirls around you, you experience wonder, fear, and the joy of running between the ships at noon, With a jolt, it pulls you into the streets around the salty mast. Women with painted faces weave between men stumbling in and out of the lamplight. Father's gone in for a drink, just like always. He said it'd only be a few minutes, but it's been hours. The man guarding the door only laughed when you tried to explain this. There's always a back door. In an alley, 2 men have cornered a woman. Her cheeks are streaked with tears. She's backed against the wall and looking away. They're inching closer. You step forward. The men barely acknowledge you, but the woman looks at you, a plea in her eyes. You've seen that look in abused strays, in your hollow-born sister. That time, Father took her for her splintering cradle and to the filled wash basin. You were brave that day. A knife is in the thug's belt. It's in your hands, and now it's in his thigh. You're small and fast, but not fast enough. Fingers bite into your arm, and a muddy boot sails toward your face. Then everything is muffled by cold, brackish water. The soul retreats from you. It pulses with a question. You died. You need to understand this to move on. You did a brave thing. The gods will reward you in your next life. Darren's soul absorbs this thought and ebbs in the ocean mists around the dock. A young boy's corpse lies at your feet, half covered in dirt and seaweed. His hands have stiffened around a dagger. Yeah. I'll take the dagger. The boy's small hands are rigid in death, but you pry the dagger free. It looks too large and too expensive to belong to him. The letter B is carved into the pommel. Interesting. Oh yeah, we have this ring as well. Ring of Unshackling. Grants suppress affliction. Friendly AoE. Nice. Let's give that to Endurance. Let's look at the crafting menu. I actually haven't looked at this yet. Oh wow. So we can craft a lot of potions and scrolls and food. Interesting. Sure, let's try and craft one. I just want to see what it does. You successfully crafted a scroll of paralysis. Cool. Okay, so we found the boy and we took a dagger. Is that a quest item? I believe it is. I'm just gonna move the chat over here. Ding, ding, ding. Thug's dagger. Yep, that's the one with the B carved into it. So there's nothing special. All right. So we found brave Darren's body. Poor guy.
Sure.
Well, let's head into the tavern and see what we can see. See what we can see.
Nothing like this in Gilded Vale. Just Wallaroo
Ollie.
the milkmaid.
There you are.
She knew what she was doing. Overfried cod, watered ale, and prostitution. A bastion of Deerwooden culture.
I hope you aren't expecting to find the Leaden Key in here.
Visit new lands, see the sights. I do love travel.
Now to find a home for my other staff.
Oh, Durant.
Right.
You greasy man. The pan is at the table by himself, but he constantly glances at the opposite bench as if waiting for someone. He reeks of alcohol, and he moves with the torpor of someone who's gotten used to spending most of his time drunk. This table's taken. Find another. He spreads his elbows on the wood and pulls his drink between them. I've got questions about Lundry. His face twists into a confused scowl. What's it to you? I was told you're the last person to see Lundry. His scowl deepens. Here to help, huh? Well, you're 2 weeks late. I just have a few questions about him. Ollie finishes his drink and drums his fingers on the empty mug. My throat's feeling mighty dry. If you want to talk, that'll be 10 pans for a refill. Constitution 14. I'm your new drinking buddy, and I've got questions for you. He stares at you, flabbergasted. Well then, ask away. So what is it you want? You were wanting with Lendry? Tell me about Lendry. He spent most of his time here drinking with me. Tells you enough, doesn't he? Or tells you enough, doesn't it? He takes a gulp of his drink and shrugs. He didn't volunteer details, and I didn't ask, but he had a working man's hands and a working man's taste for drink. When and where did you last see Lendry? Right here, getting drinks with me. He slaps a spot on the bench. Just like we have every night for the last 5 years. I couldn't actually tell you much about him, and I think he preferred it that way. He frowns at the rough wood grain of the table. It's probably why we got on so well. Plenty of things we didn't talk about. Anyway, I remember that night because he said things were finally turning around. He was going to find a steady job, clean up, have another crack at the respectable life. I told him in that case he could buy the drinks. He traces the rim of his cup. That's when she showed up. Who's this woman you're talking about? A sly smile stretches across his face. A real fancy lady. Name's Lumdala. He taps his head. I don't remember much these days, but I remember her. Usually you have to pay a month's copper to spend time with a woman like that. But Lumdala, he shakes his head. She was falling all over Lendry that night. Left with him too. And where did Lendry and Lumdala go? A gruff laugh rattles his throat. She said they were going on to see some frilly performance. If you ask me, they had their own plans to perform that night. He makes an obscene gesture and grins. She just said they had to pick something up at her house in Copper Lane first. Some cozy little place by the northern gate. He picks up his cup. Even a drunk like me knows what that means. For what that's worth, she said she earns her coin over at the amphitheater in Copper Lane. That's where she said they were going to see their show. Maybe someone there saw him. That's all I need to know. Ollie nods. Right. Let me know if you find him, yeah? Because that bastard owes me a round if he's found the good life. Interesting. So we can go investigate Lumdala's house. Question Lumdala in Copper Lane.
Sure.
Just a soul to read. Wade. Wade's eyes are red-rimmed and unfocused. He stares into a filthy mug as if searching for something. He shivers and takes another drink. Why don't you just take one of them stools over there? He swats at the air in your general direction. Nowhere else for me to go. Not with the wife in a state and my boy. His face freezes with a stricken expression, and he turns back to the bar, muttering into his drink. Okay. Orico.
Good day, stranger.
Orico catches your eye. A golden hoop dangles from one ear, and his fine fitted clothes whisper as he glides over to you. You have me at a loss. How could I afford time with such a magnificent creature? What are you talking about? I'm talking about your magnificent eyes and perfect lips. Surely it should be a crime for you to ever close them. He runs a finger along a perfectly symmetrical goatee. What can Orico do for you? You tell me. Some things must be experienced to be believed. How much? For an evening that you will remember in your next life, I ask but 300 pans. Not this time. Thanks, Orico. May?
Welcome.
The Amau woman watches you suspiciously. One hand is tensed at her side, but as you approach, she relaxes and gives you a friendly, if weary, smile. I don't see many outfitted like you who aren't looking for trouble. You aren't looking for trouble, are you? Is there someone here named Cyril? She laughs. You must be new in town, dearie. She's only the most sought-after girl in the district. You want to spend time with her? Just ask. She's 1,000 for the night, but she's worth every pan. Or so they tell me. Fancy a go with her? She nudges you in the ribs. Best money you can spend in the gift. Yeah, I mean, we have to go talk to Cyril, so... You'll find her quarters upstairs. She lays a large hand on your shoulder. Don't mind the burly fellows at her door. They're just there to make sure everyone has a good time. Alright.
Yeah.
Did we... Yeah, we gave her 1,000 copper. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, let's talk to Linus.
Greetings.
She leans on the bar, her black painted nails tapping the wood. What'll it be? Any of your regulars looking for work? No, I'm good. What's in here? Close the door.
I'm here.
Sagani. Get it. Cool.
Margaret's fire casts light in
Here.
dark
Nobody
places.
home? Some loot. I don't feel bad about taking that 1,000 copper now. Or taking that copper, however much it was, 161 or whatever. Okay. So let's go speak with our wonderful guest for the evening. Older drunkard.
Good day, stranger.
His robes are torn and stained with vomit. He turns his eyeless face toward you, wiping his mouth. Come for a story? His speech is slurred and his voice ragged. I told all the best stories. He slaps his chest. It's my club, anyway. What club? The Club for Refined and Prestigious Gentlemen. He prods your shoulder. Wait, if you don't know about the club, you must be... He heaves, catching at his chest. After several precarious seconds, he recovers. Where was I? Oh, you must be here about the ring. The ring. He shoves it into your hand. Have you have to have that to get into the lounge? He hiccups. They don't let just anyone in, you know. He wipes a hand on his shredded robe. It's the most exclusive club in Defiance Bay. He slaps you on the back. And whatever you do, don't tell them you're new, or... He turns away, overcome by a fit of dry heaving. Oh, so we gained the Club of Refined and Prestigious Gentlemen membership ring. Interesting. Do we have to put it on? Let's put it on. Adair is a fine and prestigious gentleman. It's back here. Kitchen. Chef. Guard. Okay. Just before we head upstairs, I'm going to take a quick 30-second bio. So I will be right back. Okay, we are back. So, let's head upstairs and talk to the prostitute. Selena, I think her name was. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Lyrinia.
Greetings.
Greetings. The dwarven maid raises the hem of her skirt to show you a well-muscled leg. You've never experienced anything like this before. Trust me. Not right now. Alright, so we've got some ladies. Some men. And... nice ring. You may enter. Interesting. So we can go talk to Cyril. Anybody in here? No? Okay.
I'm here.
It's got Sagani stealthing. Examinal clothing. Okay. Before we go talk to Cyril, let's head into the club.
And what does the flame reveal?
Vincent, Duelier, and Jason. Vincent Duelier. The man looks down his nose at you. So, you're a member, I see. Are you here for the exclusive club equipment? Yeah, show me your stock. I've been collecting the finest equipment for over a decade. I guarantee you won't find a superior collection. Spectacular spetum. Let's see. 20 to 28, it's the same. Increased reach, interfering, fine. And then the spectacular spetum is fine, marking, guarding. So marking gives plus 10 accuracy granted to an ally attacking the same target. Plus 1 enemies engaged. Yeah, it's okay. The Timaparacle. What? Timaparacle. Timaparacle. 20 to 28. Fine, corrosive lash, overbearing. So it does 25 additional corrode damage. 25%. Crits can inflict prone. That's kind of cool. But we just recently upgraded to Thane's Reach, so I feel like we're good. Let's see if there's anything else here. So there is Scofundaku's Evil Black Arquebus. Maybe it could be good for Kana. Let's have a look here. So it's extremely slow, 10-meter range is the same, interrupts weak. So it's got more damage. -5 to accuracy. Veil piercing versus deflection, that's the same. So the only difference is this one's fine, which does an extra 15% damage and accuracy compared to his current arquebus. So nothing really special about that. What is this? Gilt Blade of Lorn. Whoa, these look pretty cool actually. So nothing special about that. It's just a fine greatsword, really. The Maverick. Yeah, so they're fine. Darkosi Paladin's Longsword of Inclane. So its properties are exceptional. It's more accuracy, more damage. Let's look at... we did buy a new weapon for Adair. So... he's got the Raven Wing. Or we found that, actually. It's a lot better. Yeah, we're good. Habba's Hammer. Yeah. Hanover's Fist of Dodom. What is this? It's a mace. Okay, so he's got a lot of... different weapons. Ooh, some helmets among them. Alright, let's have a look at those. Those are all weapons. Cloak of the Theocrat. Of intellect +1, of resolve +1. Ooh, Don Paco's Codpiece of Vigor. Yes, please. +2 to Constitution. Azalin's Helmet of Crit Multiplier, bonus 10%. So we've got some good hats here. Spell Defense bonus, Max Endurance bonus. So our neck slots are pretty full, and I don't think these are exceptional in any way, but our head slots are not. And definitely not our waist slots. So let's grab this Codpiece of Vigor for Adair. Let's see if we can't get rid of some stuff. No, nothing really. These helmets aren't bad either. Of Crit Multiplier, bonus 10%. So plus 0.1 to crit damage multiplier. Yeah, that's good. Of resolve plus 1. I think we're gonna grab both of these because we don't have helmets for all of our party. That's most of our copper. Dalai Lama says, I got a codpiece of vigor for you right here. Yeah. Well, this one gives plus 2 constitution, so I don't know what your codpiece does, but... so Adair needs a helmet. Resolve. Lol, oh, mine doesn't. Let's see here. Let's give this to crit multiplier, resolve perception. Let's give to him, and we'll give the crit multiplier to Sagani. There we go. Save. Not sure if those are particularly amazing items, but... Ooh, the guest book. I think I'll take that. Thank you. Alright. Let's go talk to Selena now. Or Cyril.
Well met, friend.
Powder almost hides the circles under her eyes, and rouge dusts her 2 prominent cheekbones. Despite it all, Cyril is beautiful. She favors you with a smile she must have practiced and perfected. Hello, stranger. Let me make you more comfortable. I'm here on a quest to restore Glenfeather Clan. It is rather warm in here. There's something I need to discuss with you. She runs a smooth finger along your neck and under your chin. Just tell me what you like. It's extra if you want to bring someone else in, though. Your friend Thristwin sent me. He needs that medallion. So do I. Cyril raises her chin. I offered him his half of the money, and he refused it. She crosses her arms and paces in a slow circle around you. I'm sure he told you all about his broken clan. Did he also tell you that I got him where he is today? I really am sorry for him, but I'll bet you anything he lives better now than he did in Ire Glanfath. I've worked a long time for a way out, and I'm not giving it up just because Thristwin's suddenly gotten nostalgic. I could flex on her. 16 might. I'll buy it from you. Let's forget about the medallion. I'd like you to help me find something else. I should go. Thristwin has no right to ask this of you. I'll tell him to leave you alone. She's not particularly... She doesn't need the medallion. And it means nothing to her. So I'm going to try flexing on her. See what happens. Intimidate. Cyril's eyes dart to the door. Guards! Okay. Well, I think we're going to make quick work of 2 guards. Let's try that.
Let's go.
They're pretty strong.
Dead on.
Yeah.
Ooh. Thank you for all the loot.
Huh?
Now what do you have to say for yourself? The woman shrinks away from you. Get away from me! Give me the Angwithan medallion. She looks at her dead guards in disbelief. By the flame! I never would have. She yanks a medallion out of her bodice and hurls it at you. her lips trembling. Take this piece of junk. Hell, take Thriswin and his whole damn tribe.
Yeah.
Things got real, girl. Alright.
Ready, Watcher.
Just want to see if you can hide anywhere. Try and live
I'll take a
here.
look.
Nope. How about back here? Yep, right here. Let's see if we can get to this chest.
Ready, Watcher.
It's Sagani. Yoink. Go! Yes. Into your clothing.
Right.
Nothing special there. Anything else to loot? There's this chest.
I'm on the trail.
Nice. Let's see if we can get in here. Valium clothing. Yoink. Okay. That's it. Let's save it. And we'll head back to our friend. We have to go to Copper Lane to investigate the lady at the theater. So we could do that. And now that we have this this medallion, we can give it back to, what's his name? The Hermit of Hadrid House. I can't remember. Where is it?
Yeah.
Well, let's just head back to Copper Lane. And we'll investigate the murder. Or the disappearances, I should say. We don't know if it's a murder yet. So we're in Andra's gift. Where was it? First Fires? Is that where he was staying? The guy who wants the medallion? I think it was Brackenbury. We'll head to Brackenbury on the way back to Copper Lane. See if we can drop off this medallion. So I'm hoping we get at least... I mean, we need to get at least 1,000 copper back from this guy to make it worthwhile.
I've never been to Nasitok. Is it very cold? What creatures wander the tundra? How are your leaders chosen?
I think he's in the Charred Barrel. Let's head over there. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is him.
How do you do?
Hold on. Let me look at this medallion first. Of might +2. Stolen Egwithin medallion. It's good, but so is experience.
Hail and well met.
Give him the medallion, yes. Thriswin's eyes are as wide and round as the artifact in his hands. You've given my people a gift we couldn't possibly repay. I'll do the best I can, though. He shoves a bag of coin into your hands. This is everything I have. Take it, please. You have lost an item, the stolen Egwithin medallion. Thank you? You'll always be an honored guest among the Shattering Spear. Farewell. Far from home, completed. Okay, great. 2,000 copper. Okay, great. So, we got some XP, and we got 1,000 copper profit from that quest, so that's good. So now we'll head to Copper Lane, And we're gonna go talk to the actor or actress again about her involvement with the disappearances of the 3 townsfolk. I just gotta move Chad over here. There we go. Copper Lane. Cool, we're getting a lot done. A lot of side quests. A lot of side quests. So let's go to the... Actually, they said she had a house. Lumdala's house. Let's go investigate her house first. Because that is where she took her victim before they went to the theater. And we've already questioned her at the theater. So maybe there's some evidence in here that we need to find first. We just walk right into her home. Yeah, so we've been here before and looted, but we didn't find anything special, so... Oh, we need the key. Maybe her victims are in here. Alright, we need to go approach Lumdala. Give me your key, girl. Can I have your number? Can I have it? Alright, Lumdala, let's talk.
It is true. You have been at it far longer than I. Where will you go next, when you have all the world to choose from?
Home, of course.
We're back.
How do you do?
Ollie said his friend Lendry was last seen with you. Lumdala lets out a big laugh. That drunk in Andra's gift? Men flatter themselves when it comes to the attention of a beautiful woman. The Pallid Knight herself could waltz into that bar, and he'd believe she was there to sit on his lap and listen to bawdy stories. The Pallid Knight? I think I courted her once. She hated being called that. I trust his word more than yours. He has nothing to gain by lying. I'm just analyzing the facts. And the facts are that one of us stinks of cheap ale and desperation, while the other has a long and illustrious career. She tilts her head toward you. Consider, well, which is a more credible source. I, a con her sort, nigh to be trusted. Surely there's someone else you can ask about all this, but I'm a humble actor. You're connected to the 3 disappearances that you claim to know nothing about. Then what else do you expect me to say on the subject? She sighs and turns her face to the sky. If you'll excuse me, I have a performance to attend to. The young man steps up next to you, his gaze fixed on the other actors, his voice low. Meet me in Lumdala's house. I know what's going on. He claps his hands and whistles at the other actors. Well done indeed. There we go. That's what we needed. Let's head back up to Lumdala's house. A young man appears before you, trembling and excited. You! I saw you with Lumdala by the amphitheater. Look, I don't know what your business with her is, but I want out of this mess. I just came by to grab my things. Just let me leave, all right? Take a breath and calm down. Tell me what's going on so I can help. He nods, filling his lungs. Thank you, but there's not much time. Lumdala's out to get me, and I need to get out of here, maybe out of the city. Kedal reaches slowly into a satchel and produces a small key. This opens the door behind you. There's a passage in there leading down to a theater. He shudders. It's easier if you see it for yourself. He licks his lips. Since I've helped you, I want your promise that you'll leave my name out of this. I'm not sure this poor fool is worth our time. We should stop Lumdala before she gets wind of us. I won't mention you. Thank you, and good luck. He doesn't look you in the eye. Alright, let's see what's going on in here. Not before we loot Lumdala's place. Ooh, potion of iron skin. And monsters of the dead fire.
I can do that. That's settled.
What else you got in here? A sword. Some copper. And a breastplate. Wonderful. Let's save it. And then we'll head downstairs. You can queue a string of actions by holding down the shift key while issuing commands. Interesting. Oh, we see a spirit we can interact with here. A simple silken scarf is crumpled on the filthy flagstones. Essence radiates from it like heat, and the closer you get to it, the more you feel a confusing mixture of joy, surprise, and pain. Pick up the scarf. You hold the scarf and focus on it, and the world around you shifts. Something about you shifts too. The smooth fabric is still in your hands, but you're in a small yet cozy house, and Laura is looking from the scarf back to you, asking you if you like it. She's smiling because the answer is written on your face. That was 4 years ago, but you still wear the scarf on days like today. After all, you wore it that first day you met the actress with silvered eyes, so who's to say it won't bring you luck again tonight? It's nestled around your throat, soft and warm and comforting. You're halfway through the third act, and you can feel the audience's eyes on you, hungry and attentive. You were nervous at first when the woman brought you down here. You wondered what kind of show you'd signed up for, but this has gone better than you could have hoped for. You've reached the end of your monologue, and the scarf tightens around your neck. It chokes the final line from your throat, which is embarrassing, because your debut was going so well. But when you try to pull the scarf away, it only tightens further. You're confused, and you look to the audience, expecting someone to rush to your rescue. Then you see their eyes and that hungry, attentive look, and you understand. The stage fades to black. The scarf falls from your hand and flutters to the ground, but Cora's soul lingers, stuck between a familiar token and a question. It wants to know, but it wants to retreat. What happened to you was a tragedy and an injustice. Your life was brief but happy. You experienced true fulfillment before you died, which is more than most can say. Clinging to an empty dream will only bring you pain. You had your sister's love and the courage to follow your dreams. Take comfort in that as you find your way to the next life. What did you expect? Even your sister knew you were a terrible actress. You were naive. You had your sister's love and the courage to follow your dreams. Take comfort in that as you find your way to the next life. A soul glows with warmth before fading back into the fabric of the scarf. Lumdala emerges from the shadows, her silvered eyes glowing in the darkness. Well, well, if it isn't our friend from Dunred Row. What do you want? She gives you an appraising look. I have a proposition, and I have my doubts, but I suppose it couldn't hurt to hear the details. I'm listening. I stage my performances for certain wealthy patrons. One in particular would make a valuable catch. You agree to a truce, and I'll give you his name. Explain why this is a better deal for me. Think of it this way. I only feed a demand. I'm offering you the man whose money and connections made my performances possible in the first place. Okay. We'll take the deal in hopes to enact justice on the larger scale. Excellent. The man you're looking for is Lord Gatorman. Find him in Brackenbury yourself, or report him to the authorities. It makes no difference to me. Now it's time that we made our exit. I don't think so. You're not getting away.
I got the name. Yeah, you're not leaving. Wolfie all by himself in the park. This is not good. Alright, let's put our tank on Limdala. And we're going to start off with a big group Terrify once we get close enough. So let's run up and prone that actor. And then our 4 in the back. We can put on... Put on this guy. Okay.
Braved out.
Alright, let's get that Terrify off. It doesn't. Oh, yeah, it did work. Okay, great. I was going to say it doesn't look like we can get close enough, but.
That's it.
You guys are in our way. Alright, we need to get these actors out of the way. There we go. Not sure why Durance is taking so much damage. It must be from the archer. Yep. Kaboom! Smoked. Alright. Limdala, that will be your last performance.
Yeah.
Hello. Ring of Protection. Whoa, a 42 plus 9, a reflex plus 9, a will plus 9. Yeah. Ba-boom. Everything else. Go to the stash. Wow. That ring is really good. So we'll swap that out. And then we can give the other one to Adair. I'm glad we chose to kill her.
Yeah.
Got some good loot there. Got some good loots. Okay, well, we found out more about the investigation. So there's a guy named Lord. What is it? The final act. The missing people have been murdered by Limdala during special performances. Her patron, Lord Gatorman, a Brackenbury noble. Okay. So, do we go talk to... Return to Curran at Haddard House in Brackenbury. Okay, let's start there. We will enact justice. Swift justice. We need to go to Brackenbury. Actually, let's stop at the Goose and Fox and rest up first. Because some of our members are quite weak. Quite weak indeed.
Hello.
Can I get a room? Common room, please. I'm glad we found that ring. So awesome. Let's move the chat over here so I can read that. Glenfathen Soul Hunter. What did that say? Alright, so we've got some business at Cadnua that we need to take care of as well. But we'll get to that after we turn in this quest. So let's go talk to Curran in Brackenbury. On our
You
way...
must gather your party before venturing forth.
Oh, to Brackenbury. Never heard narration like that yet. That was the first time I've heard that. You must gather your party before venturing forth. Must have not done anything wrong yet. So he's at the Hadrit house, which is down here. Which is where we got the quest. Okay, let's head inside. Talk to Corin. Here you are.
Good day, stranger.
I found the missing people. Yes, you've been all over Defiant Space since last we spoke. His alert eyes searched you. What did you find? They were all murdered. A woman named Lumdala killed them as part of her performances. Certainly wealthy theater patrons have been paying to watch performances in which actors are murdered. One of the foremost members is Lord Gatorman. He hisses, "Something big. I knew it. I'll send my men after him right away." You've been a resourceful investigator, and your shrewdness has helped resolve a most troublesome case and saved many lives, I'm sure. About my payment. Of course, you've certainly saved us a lot of work. Here, take this. Pleasure doing business with you. 3,000 copper. Ooh, I'm glad I asked. Likewise, farewell, and you may find success in your other ventures. Nice.
Huh?
How much copper do we have now? 7,700. Not quite enough for that ring yet, though. So we're gonna need to keep saving for that. Great. Well, I think that's gonna be a good place to call it today, guys. Yeah, so I'm gonna save it. And, oh, there's an assassin waiting for us. Well, that'll have to take place tomorrow. So we'll just leave the assassin be for now. But yeah, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate any follows. If you'd like to hit that follow button, if you want to keep up to date on the stream and what's going on. And yeah, just thanks again for stopping by and hanging out. Some new folks and some lurkers and some regulars, so much appreciate that. And I'm just gonna roll some credits at the end here of today's Journey's End. And yeah, thanks again for stopping by. See you tomorrow.